Adam Small has more.
Utah County is asking the legislature for $2 million of taxpayer money to help with the costs to both defend and prosecute Tyler Robinson.
This is not a standard case or even a standard capital case. The very public nature of this case requires unprecedented attention to detail.
Ezra Nair is the Utah County Government Administrator.
We are facing increased costs for significantly increased security measures for all parties, multiple Rule 8 certified attorneys who command higher rates, a jury selection process that could take months due to pretrial publicity.
Nair told state lawmakers today they're handling multiple capital cases right now, and Utah County taxpayers are currently on the hook for the millions of dollars those cases cost. Nair also noted Utah Valley University, while in Utah County, is state property. Multiple lawmakers expressed support for the proposal, but whether they'll actually dish out the money will be decided near the end of the legislative session next month. Adam Small, KSL News Radio.
And stay with us for more on this. KSL's legal analyst Greg Skordas will be joining me at 12:15 with more reaction. A Utah bill is seeking to standardize the speed-up death penalty cases in the state. A bill targets several sections of capital punishment, mainly procedural. It outlines clear timelines and removes some ambiguity for the appeal process, including a narrow window for an appeal.
I think what the drafter of the bill wants to make sure is that appeals are all addressed at the front end, and that we don't file an appeal and then 2 or 3 years later file another appeal based on something different.
KSL legal analyst Greg Skordas says he has some concerns with the change, pointing out that new information could be found years after to show problems with the case that could lead to an unjust execution. Utah's Campus Safety Task Force is sharing more on what they are doing to make universities safer after Charlie Kirk was shot and killed at Utah Valley University. KSL News Radio's Brianna Willis reports.
The task force is currently working on recommendations after using the last few months to participate in campus discussions. University of Utah Chief Safety Officer Keith Squires says they'd like to be preventative in their responses. Senator Kathleen Ribby expressed some concerns with recommendations that could be expensive or impractical, pointing to the state's current efforts in K-12 schools.
I know that in a classroom there's some stuff we're supposed to do right now that really doesn't lend itself to K-12 teaching, and we're out of compliance and people are mad at us, and it's like, we work with kids. We have to have a fluid system where kids can come and go. And
the task force will present their recommendations to the legislature this summer. Brianna Willis, KSL News Radio.
We are hearing about a scuffle at a track station that happened on Friday. Trax PD was called to respond to reports of a disorderly individual and a possible assault. Bystanders sent KSL video of the altercation between the minor suspect and a police officer. The video shows an officer grabbing and pushing a teen boy off a train and onto the ground on the platform.
Don't touch him! Don't touch him! He's a minor! He's a minor!
UTA Public Information Officer Gavin Gustafson says the incident is still under investigation, and they are reviewing the footage of the altercation to ensure that their use of force and safety policies were followed correctly. No word on if anyone was injured or what led to that interaction. Breaking news, 2 drivers were killed in a crash in Duchesne County this morning. Utah Highway Patrol says it happened just before 6. A Kia Soul was hit by a Ford pickup head-on a few miles west of Roosevelt. Officials say both drivers, a 67-year-old man and a 25-year-old man, were killed. KSL's top national stories. Jeffrey Epstein's former girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell, pleaded the Fifth today in a brief appearance before the House Oversight Committee. ABC Stephen Portnoy has the latest.
The witness appeared remotely from her prison camp in Texas. She didn't offer any testimony.
Obviously, it's very disappointing. We had many questions to ask about the crimes she and Epstein committed.
House Oversight Chairman James Comer says Ghislaine Maxwell's attorney told the panel she would have provided testimony if she'd been granted clemency by President Trump. Comer said it's his view she's not worthy. Stephen Portnoy, ABC News, Washington.
Other national stories KSL is following. Today's show host Savannah Guthrie and her siblings have responded to the ransom demands and said that they are willing to pay for the return of their missing 84-year-old mother, Nancy. Retired FBI agent and ABC contributor Brad Garrett explains what this could mean as investigators enter week 2 into her disappearance.
And I think that what they're saying is, we know the deadline is Monday. Again, assuming any of this is accurate or true, because we don't know that that we'll see what happens, I guess, this afternoon.
However, Garrett says the people requesting the ransom still have not proven that they actually have Nancy. She's been missing since January 31st when she went missing overnight from her home in Tucson. A happy ending to a story we told you about last week. Unified Police arrested the man suspected of stealing a 92-year-old woman's wallet while she was in the hospital. Police say the suspect, Caleb Tilton, is an employee at St. Mark's Hospital. Surveillance footage from the hospital and an ATM helped the investigators make the arrest. First Look Traffic. Good afternoon, Ricky.
Good afternoon, Maria. We do have crews working this crash in Davis County. It's at the on-ramp to southbound I-15 at Hillfield Road. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL News Time, 12:05.
A family office is a team built to handle the three biggest financial responsibilities a family faces: wealth management, tax strategy, and estate planning. Most firms only manage your investments and refer the rest out, hoping everyone stays aligned. At Trajan, we built something different. Your wealth, tax planning, and estate planning are handled together inside one firm under one roof. There's no guessing whether your CPA, advisor, and estate attorney are truly in sync, because our team works together every day on your behalf. When your financial life becomes more complex, your advice should become more coordinated, not more fragmented. One plan, one trusted team. Call Trajan today, 801-207-9900. That's 801-207-9900.
Trajan Wealth, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Additional services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures and accreditation at TrajanWealth.com.
When the new year hits, every business could use a little something to stay ahead. A lift, a jump start, an edge, or perhaps a boost. Like the all-new 5-year business boost from Comcast Business. It's the certainty of a price lock for 5 years on qualifying internet bundles. Plus, you'll have the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment, so your whole team can stay connected at a great rate. And to sweeten the deal, ask about a $500 prepaid card when you add 2 lines of mobile. It's the boost your business deserves. So sign up for the 5-year business boost and get a 5-year price lock on ultra-reliable Wi-Fi. Plus, ask about a $500 prepaid card. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 3/22/26. New customers only. 1-year contract required for guaranteed rate. 5-year pricing applies to monthly service charge excluding taxes and fees. Best Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
Thank you for joining us for Midday, recapping our top story. Utah County is now asking the legislature for $2 million more to support the legal aspects of the Tyler Robinson case. He is facing capital murder charges for the death of Charlie Kirk. KSL News Time, 12:08. Oklahoma State will pay $50,000 after an investigation into derogatory chants directed at members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. It was during a BYU game last week. The Big 12 Conference says it violates their principles and standards of sportsmanship, and they will not tolerate any behavior that targets or demeans others. A Utah resident has claimed the first gold medal for the Team USA at the Milan Cortina Winter Games. Breezy Johnson was 6th in line and watched almost 30 other racers attempt to beat her time before the win was secured. Johnson had qualified for the Beijing Winter Games but had to pull out due to an injury.
You want it so badly, and so, yeah, I guess today is for that sometimes good things do come to those who wait.
She was seen after the podium ceremony without her medal, and when asked about it, she told reporters she had been jumping up and down and it fell off the lanyard. Hopefully, it can be fixed. A welcoming party for family members of Team USA at the Milan Cortina Winter Games included assurances from Utah's planning committee that the 2034 Games will feature housing for the family of athletes. Olympic and Paralympic Committee members Catherine Rainey Norman says Utah's goal to house the families of athletes is to show support for the competitors.
And so for us to be able to have a dedicated space for them that will be access to affordable housing, that is just a huge relief, not only for the family, but also for the athlete as well.
She says the Olympic Village housing will be the first of its kind and will reassure families trying to come with their athletes. Robert Redford could soon have a highway in Utah named after him. KSL News Radio's Britt Johnson has more.
If it passes, SR 92 through American Fork Canyon will be renamed Robert Redford Highway in honor of the Sundance Film Festival founder who passed away in his home here in Utah in September. It would be a tribute to Redford, who called Utah home since the 1960s, saying that he loved it more than Hollywood, even though the famous actor was born and raised there. Britt Johnson, KSL News Radio.
The portion of the highway to be renamed would be from Ashton Boulevard in Lehigh east through American Fork Canyon to Route 189 in Provo Canyon. Traffic and weather together. It's brought to you by UCCU. Earn 4.44% on savings at uccu.com. Good afternoon, Ricky.
Hey, Maria. We've had some wet roads in the valley, but higher elevations, there's the snowfall coming down. It's very light in most places, what I'm seeing through the traffic cameras on I-80 and Parley's, Big and Little Cottonwood Canyons. However, with the light snowfall at times and wet roads, it may be a mix of rain and snow. It is making for some slushy spots and a very wet road if you're traveling to those areas up to the slopes for the day. But here in the valley, we are seeing our freeways dry out. We had a little bit of heavy and slow traffic southbound I-15 approaching 1300 south to 2100 south. Looks like that is starting to clear out. Not really sure what was causing it. But we do have a crash in Layton for Davis County drivers. It's at the on-ramp to southbound I-15 at Hillfield Road. I think they've closed. No, they haven't closed the ramp. They definitely have two right lanes blocked. They have construction equipment at the ramp to work on getting this crash cleared. Arrive in style for all of life's events, from the first suit to the first dance, preparing to serve, or starting a life together. Every age, every milestone. For nearly 60 years, Mr. Mac helping you look your best for all of life's events. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
Calling for mostly cloudy skies today. The high temperature will actually be in the morning, right around 51. A decaying cool front will cool temperatures into the afternoon. 50 tomorrow, mostly cloudy skies. I got a chance for showers back in the forecast by Wednesday. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
Just a bit of light rain in downtown Salt Lake City and 44 degrees. Coming up on Midday with Maria Shilaos. They're already spending a lot of money on death penalty cases, and now Utah County is asking for $2 million more. We'll talk to KSL's legal analyst, Greg Skordas, to get his insight. That's coming up, streaming live at KSLNewsRadio.com and on the app for KSL News Radio. We are Utah's news, traffic, and weather station. Okay, now that the Super Bowl is behind us, I don't know about you, but a lot of people have run out of excuses, and it's time maybe for that New Year's resolution reset, where you try to eat healthy again. And if you missed your start date, maybe your January weight loss plan fell apart, this is your do-over. Right now, Salt Lake City Fat Loss is offering $200 off to help get you back on track through the end of February. This doctor-developed, all-natural program helps you lose up to a pound of fat per day with no injections, no drugs, no workouts, and no prepackaged meals. I've lost more than 40 pounds with the help of Salt Lake City Fat Loss, and it just works for so many reasons. It's simple to follow. Again, it's all natural, so I'm not worried about any sort of side effects. And I didn't have to work out for an hour a day, which has really been my history. In the past, I've just had to work out so hard to actually take off a few pounds. So this is a great program. They have a great app that helps keep you accountable and gives you great resources. And again, right now, you can save $200 off, but only through the month of February. Go to slcfatloss.com to make your appointment. It's really easy to do. You just have a quick meeting with them online, and then slcfatloss.com is the place to go, slcfatloss.com.
This President's Day, Pure Talk is honoring Jackson and Lincoln by offering unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data for just $25 a month. Meanwhile, Big Wireless is honoring Benjamin Franklin by charging families hundreds of dollars for the same 5G service. What's up with that? Ben Franklin wasn't even a president. When you switch to Pure Talk, you'll be in business with an American wireless company that supports our vets in a big way and keeps all their customer service in this country. That's important. And You'll be on the same towers the big carriers use, so you'll get the same 5G service without the inflated price. So hang on to your Benjamins and switch to Pure Talk for a Jackson and a Lincoln. No contract, no hidden fees. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and you'll get 50% off your first month when you switch. That's pound 250, Mike Rowe, for an American wireless company that is truly unprecedented. Pure Talk.
Hi, I'm Utah tax attorney Jordan Wilcox. When the IRS invades your life, it's never good news. Keep in mind, it's not just you.
I owed roughly $34,000.
$61,000. When the IRS first contacted me, I was horrified.
When they start hounding you and harassing you and assaulting you.
Don't face the IRS alone. With everything in your life at stake, don't trust just anyone.
From what I got told was being done in a matter of 2 years, he had done in a matter of like 48 hours.
It's a great thing to have the IRS off your back.
We have reduced our tax liability by over $42,000.
Once I signed on with Jordan, I never talked to the IRS again.
It changed our lives.
You need someone to fight for you. Visit endtaxworry.com and get relief today. Let's solve your tax problems now. Visit endtaxworry.com. That's endtaxworry.com.
Getting help with electrical repairs is easier than you think. All you have to do is call Any Hour Services or schedule an appointment at anyhourservices.com. No one helps more homeowners than Any Hour Services.
KSL News Time, 12:16. The three things you need to know this hour. First,
Utah County leaders are asking the state legislature for $2 million taxpayer dollars to help with the cost of defending and prosecuting Tyler Robinson, the man accused of killing Charlie Kirk at Utah Valley University. I'm KSL News Radio's Adam Small.
Second, UTA is now investigating an incident caught on video where a Trax police officer can be seen pushing a teen boy to the ground. They say they were responding to an incident of disorderly conduct. Third, traffic and weather together, Ricky.
Looks like we may have a barrier issue with a piece of construction equipment trying to get it moved back into place with this crash in Davis County. This is at the on-ramp to southbound I-15 at Hillfield Road in Layton. You'll see right lanes are blocked. You've got to stay to the far left in order to get around it and join the freeway. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
Clouds to start this week, then a chance for showers. I'm Matt Johnson.
Light rain, 45 degrees at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios. Time now for KSL's top national stories.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. The House Oversight Committee held a deposition for Ghislaine Maxwell, who was serving a prison sentence in the Epstein sex abuse case. Maxwell appeared for a virtual deposition, and it was brief. Epstein's former accomplice declined to answer questions, exercising her right not to answer those questions that could incriminate her. GOP Chair James Comer.
As expected, Ghislaine Maxwell took the fifth and refused to answer any questions. This obviously is very disappointing. We had many questions to ask about the crimes she and Epstein committed.
Maxwell's attorney said she would have spoken if she received presidential clemency. The Justice Department's release of the Epstein files recently also bringing more scrutiny for UK lawmakers, along with Andrew, the former prince. Photos released showed him hovering over an unidentified woman lying on the floor. King Charles today responding in a statement saying he has, quote, profound concern after the released documents and photos. In Arizona, the investigation into the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie now in its second week. Police say the mother of Today host Savannah Guthrie was kidnapped from her Tucson home. Authorities, including the FBI, have spent the past week gathering evidence and chasing leads. ABC's Aaron Katursky is in Tucson and says authorities say they still don't have a suspect or person of interest.
Investigators have returned repeatedly to Annie Guthrie's home, where her mom enjoyed dinner and a Saturday game night before returning to her house a few minutes away. Investigators have also returned to Nancy Guthrie's home, examining rooftop cameras, towing a car, and inquiring of neighbors. The Sheriff's Department said this remains an active and ongoing investigation, but after more than a week, investigators have not identified any suspects, persons of interest, or vehicles connected to this case.
In a social media post, the Department of War says the U.S. seized another ship and helping, this time in the Indian Ocean. It's the 8th ship seized by the U.S. after military forces captured Venezuela's leader. You're listening to ABC News.
Time now for the KSL In-Depth. Utah County is now asking for $2 million more to support the prosecution and the defense for the Tyler Robinson case. He's the man accused of killing Charlie Kirk. Joining me now live in the studio to talk about it is KSL legal analyst Greg Skordas. And we need to let you know that outside of his capacity as KSL's legal analyst, Greg is a well-known criminal defense attorney who has served in an unpaid consulting capacity for Utah County for several years. Now he helped them to ensure appropriate legal representation in this case, but he is not acting as legal counsel for Mr. Robinson, nor is he involved in the investigation or prosecution. So, Greg, let's begin with the $2 million part. Is that a lot of money?
It's a lot of money, Maria, and I didn't expect that. We knew at the outset that this was probably going to be the most expensive death penalty case in Utah, maybe ever, and the budget had gotten close to $1 million, I think, and I don't know what the exact numbers are, but another $2 million. And what I'm reading is that the prosecution is asking for more money for them as well, not just for the defense, because I was afraid that it was just defense costs. Mm-hmm. But this case has so much publicity and is being watched by so many people and has so many nuances that I really think the legislature should stand up to the plate and help out here, because the world is watching us. The world is watching this case, and we have no room for error. We need the best attorneys from the prosecution. We need the best defense attorneys, and we have those in place right now. But they need the resources to do it right from both sides, because whatever the result of this case is, we're going to be watched very closely, and the appeals will be coming down the road for the next years to come. So let's do it right the first time, and we'll save millions of dollars on the back end with appeals that may or may not have much merit, because we've done things right on the front end.
Right. So $2 million is probably a part of it is the publicity, but how much does it usually cost for capital cases anyway? They're pretty expensive anyhow, right?
They are, and my wife does budgeting for capital cases for the 10th Circuit, which are the states around Utah, and she said that it's not uncommon for a budget for a case like that to go to about $1 million. And it's surprising. I had no idea that we'd gotten to that point right now. But you can't leave any stone unturned if you're a defense attorney doing a capital case. And if you're a prosecutor and you file a case like that, you can't file that and then lose it. So both sides have so much at stake, and you have, like we talked about, years and years of appeals that you want to avoid. So just spending the extra money, doing everything right when you're prosecuting the case and when you're getting it ready for trial will save you a lot of money down the road.
And we should note that Utah County already has some capital cases that they've been dealing with anyway, right?
They've got a couple, including another high-profile case, the Michael Jane case, the man that's accused of killing the Santaquin police officer. And Salt Lake, Box Elder County has a big high-profile capital case involving the bait that allegedly shot the two police officers. So there are a lot of high-profile capital cases right now around the state. Utah County has more than its share for its size, and I think that they're stretched pretty thin in terms of their budget.
Yeah, the county administrator, in making his request, said this isn't just a Utah County case. These people aren't even from Utah County. That's why the state should help us with this.
Right, and it involves state property, Utah Valley University, so that's another reason why the state should step up to the plate.
All right. Anything else we should mention here?
This case is going to go for some time, and let's do it right.
All right. Thanks so much, Greg. KSL's legal analyst, Greg Skordas, joining me. Let's get you up to date with traffic and weather. It's brought to you by UCCU. Direct deposit gets you $300. Love where you bank. Ricky?
We do have a new accident. This is in Draper, eastbound Banketer Highway prior to the I-15 junction, about 200 west. You'll see the vehicles now moved out of traffic over to the shoulder, so you're not going to see any kind of delay going through the area. Your Salt Lake County freeways also seeing a good drive, good speeds, no problems. Crews remain on the scene of the accident. This is in Davis County at the on-ramp to southbound I-15 at Hillfield Road in Layton. Right lanes are blocked. Roads are in places drying out in the valley, but higher elevations you still may run into a rain or rain-snow mix, especially if you're headed to the slopes. Are you tired of dealing with missing teeth? Are you ready to ditch the dentures? The experts at Stubbs Dental can change your life with dental implants. Get started at stubbsdental.com today. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL 7-day forecast, 51 today, mostly cloudy. Keeping those clouds around on Tuesday, 50. 55 on Wednesday, but a chance for showers and a little bit breezy. For your Thursday, we're calling in temperatures in the upper 40s and a chance for showers. Mostly sunny, 47 on Friday. Saturday, partly cloudy, 51. 52 by Sunday, mostly cloudy. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
It is so great to see some wet weather after such a dry winter, even though it's only been just light rain here in downtown Salt Lake City. 45 degrees. 7-day forecast is brought to you by Performance Automotive Bountiful. And let's get a quick check of the markets. Oh, markets doing very well today. The complete update of your money news is coming up next.
Amanda, one of my favorite things to do when I go to the theater is laugh. Any show, it doesn't matter. So one that's designed to make me laugh from start to finish, boy, that is in my wheelhouse. And that's what we've got with Peter Pan Goes Wrong.
When we went into the theater, I'm not sure what we were expecting, but we started laughing early on. And then I realized, I'm laughing that big, loud, obnoxious laugh of mine. But mine wasn't the loudest laugh in the theater. We were all laughing, and that made it more fun.
But you walk in, it actually takes a second to realize, wait, this is actually funny from the moment the curtain rises, and it makes you laugh all the way to the end.
We need that, Andy. Don't we need that?
Oh, it's so helpful, and it's so fun to do in a group of people. It just makes everything more enjoyable.
This is in the Jewel Box stage, and then in the brand new theater.
We've got more laughs with Hallmarked, a spoof on that brand new stage, a new theater at Hale Center Theater to enjoy.
And you can still get season tickets and enjoy all of the wonderful shows, including Anastasia, to finish out the year at Hale Center Theater.
So you can get tickets by calling the box office at 801-984-9000 or online at hct.org.
Attention Jazz Nation. We know you've been waiting on the edge of your seat, and the time has finally arrived. All tickets are available now. Let's go! Your favorite players will be back on the court, bringing the energy all season long. Whether you're looking for season tickets, mini plans, or single game matchups, there's a perfect option for every kind of fan. Show up loud and proud at Delta Center this season. Don't miss your chance to be part of the action. Buy your tickets today at utahjazz.com.
The Management Minute is a service of the MBA program at Utah State University. I'm Professor Scott Hammond. I was asked to coach a senior leader who was described by his colleagues as being aloof and difficult. As I observed, I noted that he rarely listened. Without fully understanding, he would then offer thick, layered advice. This is what I did. I put a timer on his desk and said, for the first 10 minutes of any meeting, you cannot do anything but ask questions. But they cannot be questions disguised as advice. They must be non-prescriptive questions like, say more about that. How do you feel about that? What did you think about that? The turnaround was amazing. I can't believe what I've been missing, he told me. My colleagues are much smarter than I understood. My job is to give them confidence, not answers. Learn more about non-prescriptive questions with an MBA from Utah State. Go to utahstatemba.com. That's utahstatemba.com. I'm Scott Hammond. Hope to see you in one of our classes.
Common Spirit Health. Hospitals, clinics, and caregivers all connected to advance healthcare in Colorado, Kansas, and Utah. Healthcare with human kindness is here. Hello, human kindness.
Celebrations in Seattle, crowds flooding the streets of the Emerald City after the Seahawks' resounding victory over the New England Patriots. Here's ABC's Hannah Butta with details.
Running back Kenneth Walker III taking home the MVP honors, rushing 27 times for 135 yards. Kicker Jason Myers etched his name into Seahawks history, kicking a Super Bowl record 5 field goals during the game. And quarterback Sam Darnold became the first quarterback in NFL history to win a Super Bowl after playing for 5 or more teams.
Watching Utah's money, Novo Nordisk is facing some pressure after the FDA said a recent advertisement for the drug maker's Wegovy pill included false or misleading claims. In a statement today, Novo Nordisk said that was not the ad that you saw at the Super Bowl last night, and they do take the feedback seriously. Price of Bitcoin continues to fall as it hits a 15-month low of just under $69,000. This drop was marked by a near $10,000 dive in the last 3 days and has sparked fears of a possible death spiral among crypto investors. Taking a look at your money at this moment, the Dow is up by 58 points, sitting at 50,173. S&P up by 47 points. The NASDAQ up more than a full percent, up 261 points.
Down at the 50. How do they get so excited about 50 yards?
Think of what you could sew with that.
But you need a really great sewing machine, a Bernina.
Get Bernina sewing, serging, and embroidery machines and accessories at fantastic prices. The Bernina Super Weekend Sale.
Don't miss the Dave's Bernina Super Weekend Sale at their Provo and St. George locations. Now until February 14th.
Save hundreds to thousands of dollars on all new Bernina machines.
0% interest for 48 months on certain machines.
Even the most advanced sewing machine in the world, the Bernina 990, is on sale.
Incredible savings on top of the line special event demo machines that come with full 5-year warranties. Take advantage of 20% off Bernina and Burnett presser feet.
Dave's Bernina just received a limited amount of school buybacks in excellent condition with 2-year warranties. With a doorbuster price of $4.99. Dave's Bernina, 691 East St. George Boulevard and 2017 North 550 West in Provo. Dave's Bernina.
Traffic and weather together. It's brought to you by UCCU. Up to $500 for a loan transfer. Love where you bank. Ricky?
It's on the Valley freeways. That's the good news. But we do have a couple of fender benders. One is a smaller one in Draper, eastbound Bangor Highway, approaching the I-15 junction. It's out of traffic on the right. The other, not so small. This required some special equipment to be brought in and to work on this area. This is at the ramp, this crash in Davis County to southbound I-15 in Layton at Hillfield Road. Right lanes are blocked. Don't miss the Sportsman's Vacation and RV Show. It's coming up to the Mountain America Expo, February 12th through 15th. Hundreds of RVs all in one location. Buy tickets online at UtahRVShow.com. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
Hey, we're talking about mostly cloudy skies today with a high of 51. Normal high, a solid 8 degrees cooler than that. 35 overnight. We'll go mostly cloudy again tomorrow, 50 degrees. 55 on Wednesday, breezy and a chance for showers. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
Right now, light rain in downtown Salt Lake City and 45 degrees.
You're listening to Midday with Maria Shilaos
on KSL News Radio, 102.7 FM and 1160 AM.
Good afternoon. KSL News Time 1231. KSL's top story. A Utah Legislative Committee has placed more than $55 million of ongoing funding for social services on the chopping block. KSL News Radio's Don Brinkerhoff is live with a closer look at some of the items that could be cut. Don?
That get continual funding by the legislature. Committees recommending these budget cuts as part of the direction given by legislative leaders to reduce all state budgets by 5%. An increase in funding for Medicaid providers, a program that helps infants and toddlers with disabilities, and a program aimed at helping teens as they age out of state custody are facing some of the largest cuts.
It's been a challenging process for everyone.
Committee also voted to put more than $24 million in one-time funding up for cuts. All of the proposed cuts will now go to the Executive Funding Committee for further discussion and a vote. Reporting live, Don Brinkerhoff, KSL News Radio.
A Utah lawmaker wanted to make venues like the Delta Center allow people to conceal carry guns inside. Now she's making big changes to that proposal. KSL News Radio's Adam Small has details.
State Representative Candice Perucci is now changing her bill to instead require the Delta Center and other venues that have received at least $1 million in public funding to have gun storage lockers so people can drop off their guns, then pick them up on their way out. Perucci told the Deseret News the concern was never about feeling safe inside the arena. It was about being able to carry while going through Salt Lake City.
Lawmakers have not yet discussed or voted on that proposal. We are working to gather the latest details in a shooting that sent 3 people to the hospital in South Salt Lake. Police are telling us 1 boy and 2 adult men were shot early yesterday morning near 300 East and Penny Avenue.
We do believe that this was an isolated and targeted incident. You know, it's not a random shooting, that some altercation led up to the shots being fired. And, you know, we want to reiterate to the public that there's no threat to them.
South Salt Lake Police spokesperson Sean Ward says one of the men is still in critical condition while the other man and the boy are stable right now. No arrests have been made, but Ward says they detained and questioned several people at the scene. Police are asking anyone who might have information to give them a call. KSL's top national stories. Authorities in Rhode Island are sharing the chaotic moments following the deadly December shooting at Brown University. Here's ABC's Peter Haralambous with more from the newly released body cam video worn by responding officers.
All of this happening as officers were concerned about friendly fire and engaging in potential miscommunication where they thought they might have the suspect before realizing they don't actually have the right guy. All of this, I think, taken together kind of explains why in those immediate moments officers couldn't identify the suspect and why he was able to eventually escape and go on a week-long manhunt throughout the Northeast.
2 students were killed, 9 others were injured at Brown. The suspect, who police believe also killed a professor at MIT, led authorities on a multi-state, days-long manhunt before his body was discovered, along with his confession. Social media companies are going on trial today in New Mexico. The trial will examine whether Meta platforms, namely Facebook and Instagram, did enough to protect younger users from harmful content on those platforms. ABC's Mike Dubusky has details.
Prosecutors in the case say the algorithms used by Meta's platforms created a breeding ground for predators to target young people. Experts say the case could give states a new legal pathway to go after social media companies over how their platforms affect children. Few states over, a California court is expected to hear opening arguments this week in a case brought by a 19-year-old about whether common social media platforms are creating addictive behaviors in children. Mike Dubusky, ABC News.
Surgeons at Intermountain Health Primary Children's Hospital say a new, less invasive fetal surgery is improving outcomes for babies diagnosed with spina bifida.
Moms in Utah are now getting a procedure that used to require traveling out of state, a fetoscopic surgery that repairs spina bifida before birth with just 3 small incisions. Dr. Stephen Fenton told me the biggest change is how they reached the uterus.
Just like I would take out a gallbladder, just like I would take out an appendix. And so the uterus remains relatively the same.
That can mean fewer complications for mom and a better chance at reducing serious issues for baby, like fluid buildup in the brain. Madison Vance had the surgery at 26 weeks pregnant and says so far they're hopeful.
Her brain is beautiful, and that part of it is all we could ever ask for.
Doctors say they've already performed the procedure multiple times and expect to do about 15 this year. From Primary Children's Hospital, Eric Cabrera, KSL News Radio.
The Utah Museum of Fine Arts is now home to Robert Indiana's love sculpture. Student Elisa Sullivan says it's a good message.
For me, it was a great reminder of probably the best thing that we can be doing at any time, especially during maybe a kind of tumultuous political climate, is love. And when we can share that love a little bit more, it kind of drives out all other kinds of hate.
However, she also says the $4.5 million spent on it could have been used for something else. $2.5 million of that came from generous donors, the rest from state funding. University of Utah President Taylor Randall says the museum and statues sitting on campus make a statement about who they are and what they believe. First look traffic, what's going on, Ricky?
We do have some moisture in the higher elevations. If you're going to be traveling I-80 into Parley's Canyon and Summit County, Big or Little Cottonwood Canyon, you're going to see a little bit of snow making for a wet road surface here in the valley. A crash in Draper, eastbound Bangerter, approaching the I-15 junction. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL News Time, 12:37.
This weekly tax tip is brought to you by the Utah Association of Certified Public Accountants. Here's CEO Susan Spears.
Big news, if you work overtime, you may not have to pay federal income tax on part of your overtime pay. Single filers may deduct up to $12,500 and married filers may deduct up to $25,000 in overtime pay. Income phase-outs kick in for higher earners. Keep in mind, this is not a full exemption and does not make all overtime pay tax-free. The deduction applies only to the overtime premium. Here's an example. If you're single and earn $15,000 in overtime pay, you could deduct up to $12,500. In a 22% tax bracket, that could save you almost $2,800.
Get the most out of your income tax preparation when you hire a licensed CPA. Visit uacpa.org to find a CPA that's right for you. And check out new tax tip videos by following on social media at Talk to Your CPA.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different.
Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it saves my mistakes for me to review, so I'm constantly improving. Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Breaking news, a Utah firefighter was arrested over the weekend for sexual exploitation of a minor. Police say Kelly Carter told officers he purchased and viewed child sex abuse materials while working as a firefighter in Salt Lake County. We have reached out to the Salt Lake County Fire Department for comment. Valentine's Day is almost here, which means scammers are already getting ready for one of their busiest times of the year. KSL News Radio's Cameron Elliott has more.
The Better Business Bureau warns consumers about fake online flower and chocolate shops that may take your money. But U.S. Attorney Melissa Holyoke is telling people to make sure your Valentine is real, too. She says fake profiles are rampant on social media with the sole intention of making a connection with someone vulnerable and then squeezing them for cash.
They ask for sometimes something small at first, an emergency has come up, maybe a medical bill, but then they keep asking. They'll ask for sometimes even money to help with future plans, so like a future marriage. And they keep asking and will receive large sums, and then they disappear.
Holyoke says the best way to prevent these scams is to educate yourself and those around you on the signs of scams and to keep personal information off the internet. Cameron Elliott, KSL News Radio.
Clinton City says they need a comeback after years of construction has hurt their businesses. KSL News Radio's Britt Johnson has more.
Mayor Marie Doherty says locals have been shopping in neighboring cities because of the construction hassle, and now Clinton businesses need some help.
We know we're making an investment in our future with this construction, but we need an investment right now in the local businesses who have been hanging on for dear life for us. They've been trying to keep their lights on through this construction.
Businesses along 2000 West have recorded losses of over 40%. Last year, the city's finance director forecasted a $200,000 shortfall in their sales tax. So the city is hosting fun games and prizes this week to get people to come out and shop. They have a family night, and there's an app where you can upload your receipts and win giveaways. Britt Johnson, KSL News Radio.
Traffic and weather together. It's brought to you by UCCU. Earn 4.44% on savings at uccu.com. Ricky?
Crews are still working to clear this Draper crash eastbound Bangerter Highway as you're approaching the I-15 junction about 3rd or 4th West. It is out of traffic on the shoulder, so it's not going to slow you down at all. In fact, good speeds on all the Valley freeways at this time. And we still have the cleanup of the accident in Davis County at the ramp to southbound I-15 at Hillfield Road. If you're in Layton trying to access the freeway and you take Hillfield, you've got to get over to the left in order to get around it as those right lanes are blocked. The Good Feet store, supporting you with comfort no matter what the day brings. Find the location nearest you at goodfeet.com. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
Hey, dialing up some mostly cloudy skies today. Temperatures will top around 51, though that 51 will likely be in the morning. By afternoon, temps in the 40s. 50 tomorrow, mostly cloudy skies. Wednesday, showers, 55. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
And we've seen a bit of rain, 45 degrees in downtown Salt Lake City. Coming up on Midday, commercials are always a talker after the Super Bowl. We'll dive into which ones make the biggest splash. That's coming up, streaming live at KSLNewsRadio.com and on the app for KSL News Radio. We are Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
Are you looking to upgrade your home this year? Advanced Window Products is your local window and door manufacturer that sells direct to the public.
That's right, celebrating 40 years serving Utah since 1986. And right now, it's the New Year, New Window Sale. Get $2,500 off when you buy 10 windows or more.
Our windows are made right here in Salt Lake City. Sales and installation are all in-house, meaning no middleman markups. You get the most affordable, high-quality custom windows in the state.
We build it, we install it, and we guarantee it for life.
Every window comes with a lifetime warranty, labor, glass, and parts included, serviced by our local team, and the warranty is transferable to the next homeowner.
Financing is available too. Save now, pay later, with payments as low as $150 a month.
Buy local and support the local economy. Don't wait. Buy 10 windows or more and get $2,500 off. Beat the rush and call today.
Call us at 801-850-9100. That's 801-850-9100. Or visit us at advancedwindows.com.
When Team USA is on, you can almost see the moment a kid starts believing they could be next. Now, while Xfinity can't guarantee that, they can guarantee something just as important, that your internet price won't change for 5 years. No contracts or commitments, so while your kid is ordering gear online, streaming highlight reels, or video chatting, your Xfinity internet price won't budge. And who knows, by the time the next Olympic Winter Games roll around, your kid could be getting fitted for their very own Team USA uniform. And guess what? You'll still be paying the same price for reliable Wi-Fi. And there's even more to enjoy with the Xfinity Gold Medal Celebration. Now through February 22nd, get their best price on gig Wi-Fi for 5 years guaranteed. Just $50 a month, plus get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. That's a $10.99 monthly value. Xfinity. Imagine that. Proud partner of Team USA. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Actual speeds vary.
Not sure how to tackle your taxes? Are you sweating the small print? You may be experiencing FOMO, the fear of messing up. The answer? Using TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They help you get your biggest refund, and then we help you do more with it. With a personalized plan designed to help you hit your money goals. It's time to take your taxes to the max. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
KSL News Time, 1246. The 3 things you need to know this hour. First,
nearly $80 million of social services funding has been put forward for possible cuts by a state legislative committee. I'm KSL News Radio's Don Brinker-Hoff.
Second, a former Salt Lake City fire chief has been arrested on suspicion of sexual exploitation of a minor, and police say he admitted to viewing child sex abuse materials on his phone. Third, traffic and weather together, Ricky.
Cleanup continues of a crash eastbound Bangerter Highway in Draper, about 200 west prior to the I-15 junction. All vehicles are out of traffic on the shoulder. No delay there or on any of your Salt Lake County freeways. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
Plenty of clouds in the forecast today and tomorrow, then a chance for rain. I'm Matt Johnson.
Mostly cloudy, 45 degrees at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios. Time now for KSL's top national stories.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Convicted sex trafficker and former partner of Jeffrey Epstein virtually appeared for testimony in the Epstein sex abuse case before the House committee today. Ghislaine Maxwell, though, did not answer any questions.
The witness appeared remotely from her prison camp in Texas. She didn't offer any testimony.
Obviously, it's very disappointing. We had many questions to ask about the crime she and Epstein committed.
House Oversight Chairman James Comer says Ghislaine Maxwell's attorney told the panel she would have provided testimony if she'd been granted clemency by President Trump. Comer said it's his view she's not worthy. Stephen Portnoy, ABC News, Washington.
President Trump's tariffs cost the average American household $1,000 last year. That according to new research from the Nonpartisan Tax Foundation. In a statement to ABC News, White House spokesman Kush Desai disputed the findings, saying America's average tariff rate has increased by nearly tenfold in the past year, while inflation has actually cooled and real wages have risen. This is ABC News.
Time for the KSL In-Depth. Companies were willing to shell out, on average, $267,000 per second for an ad this year. So how did the ads actually do? Any of them more memorable than others? Walt McRoberts is a partner and executive vice president at Make Advertising, and his team will rate the ads this afternoon, and he tells me what they look for.
Well, there's going to be several items that will be considered inside of there, and it might be, you might look at how they played out the ad. Was it humor? Was it drama? Did it pull at the heartstrings? So some of those are going to play in that role, and also if they're really conveying the message to the consumer. so that they stand out in a way that you're going to remember them. Because if they move too quickly or they use the content in a wrong way, then we just kind of move on with life or move on with the football game, and we don't even remember what they aired.
Right. I know your team's going to evaluate these, but kind of give me a couple of your personal favorites.
Absolutely. So from a pure strategy perspective, I really liked what Pepsi did with the polar bears. It reminded me of when Verizon lost out on the Can You Hear Me Now guy, and Sprint picked him up and started running him in the Super Bowl. It was kind of the same thing. Coke pulled out of the Super Bowl. Pepsi jumped in and grabbed the polar bear, who did a blind taste test with Coke and Pepsi and kept choosing Pepsi, right? And so they kind of stole their main player that they've been using for so many ways. I thought from a strategy perspective, that was really smart. Some of the other ones are really great, from Budweiser showing the eagle, right, and the horse kind of growing up with this little bird and sheltering, protecting it, and then it became the bald eagle. Lay's pulled at the heartstrings a little bit on a potato chip, which you really wouldn't normally see, but they grabbed this wonderful farmer who was passing off his farm to his daughter, and that whole storyline was just fantastic. But there were some other great funny ones from Duncan and some others that were really great as well.
We'll have more on the ads from the big game, including your comments about your favorites, coming up on Midday at 2:20. Traffic and weather together. It's brought to you by UCCU. Direct deposit gets you $300. Love where you bank. Ricky?
We are looking at somewhat of a quiet drive. Valley freeways, not seeing any delays. We have some crashes. One is going to be at the ramp to southbound I-15 at Hillfield Road in Layton. Right lanes are blocked on that ramp due to a crash. And then on one of our main secondaries, an accident in Draper. This crash is eastbound Bangerter Highway, approaching the I-15 junction, but all vehicles are out of traffic on the shoulder. We have lightly wet or mostly dry roads in the valley, but if you're traveling up to the slopes, you're going to see a flurry here and there, and also some very wet road conditions, especially in Big and Little Cottonwood Canyons. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL 7-day forecast, mostly cloudy today, 51. 50 tomorrow, still cloudy. On Wednesday, we're going to get some showers out of those clouds, 55 and breezy. Thursday, showers, 48. 47 and mostly sunny on Friday. Saturday, partly cloudy, 51. Going for more cloud cover on Sunday, 52. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
Mostly cloudy, 45 degrees downtown. The 7-day forecast is brought to you by Performance Automotive Bountiful. And a quick check of the markets. They're doing very well today. The NASDAQ up by more than 1%. The complete update of your money news is next.
Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, Friday through Sunday, 2 locations, Salt Lake and Hurricane. Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Utah State Fair Park, 18-month interest-free financing. Our factories have demanded we sell 1,000 hot tubs and swim spas this weekend. Washington County Fairgrounds Legacy Park, huge factory incentives, factory rebates this weekend only. Utah State Fair Park, we can remove your old hot tub. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Hot tubs starting at $2,999. Washington County Fairgrounds, Legacy Park. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Just relax and enjoy. 2 locations, Sandy and Hurricane. Friday, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Utah State Fair Park, Salt Lake, and Washington County Fairgrounds, Legacy Park, Hurricane. Call 833 SPA SALE.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
If you've ever experienced running out of hot water before your shower was done, or hard water spots on dishes and fixtures, I've got a deal you might be interested in. What's up, everybody? I'm Mike Wilson with Any Hour Services, and you probably already know that a tankless water heater and a water softener solve both issues. If you've ever thought about looking into getting a tankless water heater, here's the deal I was talking about. Through the end of February, we're including a free water softener with every new tankless water heater we install. The best part of this deal might be that you never have to worry about being the last one to the shower again, or that you don't have to waste the money keeping 40 to 50 gallons of water hot 24/7. To take advantage of this deal, call Any Hour Services before the end of February. The visit's free and there's no obligation to buy. If you decide to have us install a new tankless water heater, we'll throw in the water softener for free. That's right, a free water softener when you purchase a tankless water heater. Pick up the phone and call Any Hour Services right now for all the details. 801-443-7400. You can Google Any Hour Services. You can even schedule online at anyhourservices.com. No one helps more homeowners than Any Hour Services.
KSL News Time, 12:55. Cancer has claimed the life at age 47 of the lead singer of Three Doors Down. ABC's Wayne Cabot has more.
He was 15 when he wrote this song.
Well, I took a walk around the world to ease my troubled mind. I left my body lying somewhere in the sands of time.
It was in his high school math class when Brad Arnold wrote the lyrics that would become the breakout hit for his band, Three Doors Down. When he announced he was diagnosed with stage 4 kidney cancer, he said in May, "I have no fear. I really, sincerely am not scared of it at all." Brad Arnold was 47. Wayne Cabot, ABC News.
Watching Utah's money, a new report from the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau says that student loan complaints hit a record last year, up 36%. But CNBC says that the report lacks details like what complaints focused on or which loan services reported the complaints. The price of Bitcoin continues to fall as it hits a 15-month low of just under $69,000. This drop was marked by a near $10,000 dive in the last 3 days and has sparked fears of possible death spiral among crypto investors. Super Bowl tickets went for anywhere between $3,000 and $6,000 this year. According to CNN, the limited amount of tickets combined with the increasing income of attendees only made those prices higher. And taking a look at your money at this moment, the Dow up by 48 points, sitting at 50,164. S&P up by 44 points. That's more than 0.5%. And the NASDAQ up by 252 points. That's more than a full percent.
Hi, this is Derek Overstreet, president of the New Millennium Group and co-host of Stop Working, Start Living with KSL News Radio. Can you imagine what your life would be like if you could retire 3 to 5 years earlier than you thought possible? The things you could do, the loved ones you could spend time with, the memories that you could create. That's what our team at the New Millennium Group does. We'll walk you through the entire process every step of the way. If you'd like to get a copy of the 5-step proprietary plan that will help you retire 3 to 5 years sooner than you thought possible, give us a shout right now. 888-999-6370. That's 888-999-6370 or utahsfinancialplanner.com. Listen, most of our listeners right now have a tax problem, not a money problem. There's not enough money in Social Security Medicare as it is. Let us show you how you can significantly reduce your taxes. That's 888-999-6370. 888-999-6370 or utahsfinancialplanner.com.
Respiratory virus season is quickly approaching, meaning we'll see more flu, COVID, and RSV in our community. The good news is vaccines are available that will help prevent these infections and keep people healthy. For flu and COVID, everyone aged 6 months and older are recommended to be vaccinated to help protect ourselves and our families against serious illness. Fall remains the best time to be vaccinated. Respiratory viruses circulate year-round, but peak late fall through winter. Your doctor can recommend which vaccines are best for you and your family.
Brought to you by Intermountain Health and KSL News Radio.
All in together now, we can make it better. Can we do it? We rope it up.
Cause we know how to jump. Moving and eating better every day can help make you and your kids healthier. Search We Can online to find out more. A message from the Ad Council, HHS, and NIH's We Can program.
Traffic and weather together. It's brought to you by UCCU. Up to $500 for loan transfers. Love where you bank. Ricky?
We still have the two problems that remain. They're not causing a big issue for drivers, though. That's the good news. In Draper, a small accident over to the right shoulder, eastbound Bangor Highway prior to the I-15 junction. In Davis County, a crash at the on-ramp to southbound I-15 at Hillfield Road to the right, but it's in the final clearing stages. Don't miss the Rocky Mountain Gun Show February 14th and 15th at Golden Spike Event Center in Ogden. Get 500 rounds of 9mm ammo for just $89. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
Slight chance of showers has crept into the forecast for the next 7 days. 20% chance tomorrow and Tuesday, but up to a 60% chance by Wednesday. And it looks like still a chance to rain the rest of the week as well. Right now, 45 degrees downtown.
KSL FM Midvale.
KSL Salt Lake City.
From the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios, this is KSL News Radio.
Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
Third graders who fail to reach grade level reading requirements could be held back if a proposal on Utah's Capitol Hill goes forward. The bill coming as new data shows that half of Utah's youngest children aren't reaching minimum standards.
In those early elementary years, say kindergarten through third grade, the emphasis really is on learning to read. By the time a child transitions into fourth grade, the whole paradigm shifts where you're now reading to learn.
The time is 1 o'clock on Monday, February 9th. It's midday. I'm Maria Shilaos. Coming up, Eye on the Hill, we will chat with the bill's sponsor, Senator Ann Milner, about her proposal and the other ways that she hopes to get Utah kids' literacy levels up. We also get answers to questions that many of you sent into KSL News Radio. Also this hour,
the very public nature of this case requires unprecedented attention to detail.
Utah County leaders asking the state legislature to kick in $2 million to pay for the prosecution, defense, security, and more surrounding the case of accused Charlie Kirk killer Tyler Robinson. But first, our top stories. The Campus Safety Task Force is updating the legislature after some lawmakers asked members to consider classroom settings when formalizing safety recommendations. KSL News Radio's Brianna Willis reports.
The task force was formed this last October and consists of experts on public safety, student affairs, communication experts, emergency management, and others. They have been brainstorming the last few months and are now starting to work on more specific ideas. During the meeting, Senator Kathleen Reeby pointed out that there have been many recent cuts to higher education and safety can be very expensive, pointing to the state's recent safety efforts in K-12 education.
She encouraged the task force to speak with professors and students on what would be practical in their classrooms. Our top national story from ABC News. Over a week into the search for Nancy Guthrie, investigators say they have no persons of interest, no suspects, and no vehicles of interest. They also don't know if Guthrie is dead or alive. ABC's Alex Stone reports.
Tonight is a second deadline in a ransom note sent last week, and that is a focus for investigators. But sources are telling ABC News it's still not clear whether either of two notes are even authentically from the person who took Nancy Guthrie, but it's one of the few leads they have. So they and the family have been focused on the notes in case they are real. At this point, investigators say they have no suspects, no persons of interest, and no vehicles of interest. There have been no signs that Nancy Guthrie is alive or dead. Alex Stone, ABC News.
Other national stories KSL is following. Police have released body cam footage from the deadly mass shooting at Brown University in December.
Shut down all traffic on Hope and Brook.
The body cam footage released shows officers were clearly trying to not only help victims, but to make sure no one else got hurt.
The front and the back of this building, we need to shut traffic down.
As police were searching the building where the gunman opened fire, they realized there were people shot and others who needed to get out of the line of fire.
Get these rescues in. Let's get them to a rescue.
2 students were killed, 9 others wounded. The gunman turned out to be a former Brown student who also went on to kill an MIT professor who was one of his classmates. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
ABC's Sherry Preston reporting. Relief in sight for the millions who've been waking up to relentless, brutal cold across the country. Here's ABC meteorologist Ginger Z.
There is warmth to come. There are actually records possible from Kearney to Kansas City in the plains there. And by the midweek, we will start to see the closer to average and that above average creep this way. By next week, it's warmer than average.
Meantime, here in Utah, we might see some mountain snow this week. Taking a look at your money at this moment, the Dow is up by 76 points, sitting at 50,192. S&P up by 46 points, and the NASDAQ up by 254 points. Traffic and weather together. It's brought to you by UCCU. Earn 4.44% on savings at uccu.com. Ricky?
Our latest crash is on the east side of the valley. It's at the ramp from 2300 East to westbound I-80. Look for that to the left. Join Ovation Homes Fall in Love with Your Home event this February the 14th, hosted by KSL's Greenhouse Show in West Point and Waffle Love at Sadie's Glen in Syracuse. Details visit ovationhomesutah.com. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
And the forecast calling for a 20% chance of showers today and tomorrow, 60% chance on Wednesday, and a 40% chance on Thursday. Right now, 45 degrees at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios.
A reminder about the simplest way to get updated for your day.
Hit your KSL preset when you jump in the car, and we'll take care of the rest.
Hear key news updates and traffic reports.
Andy and Amanda from 5 to 9 in your car.
KSL News Radio at 102.7 FM.
Any Hour Services can help you make sure your furnace keeps you warm this winter. Whether you need a tune-up, a repair, or a second opinion about replacing it, call Any Hour Services or visit anyhourservices.com.
For years I've said this, when it comes to the person you love, there are 3 dates you never, ever want to forget or overlook. 1, birthday. 2, anniversary. 3, it's Valentine's Day. And the perfect place to celebrate Valentine's Day with the one you love, it's Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. First of all, of course, the best food you have ever had. But the ambiance, the wait service is absolutely incredible. And we have 2 locations. One, Hotel Park City, up in the mountains after a day of skiing. That would be perfect. And of course, also in downtown Salt Lake City at 275 South, West Temple. The steaks are divine. You're going to love the seafood dishes, poultry, whatever it is, cooked to perfection at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. Be sure to make your reservations now for Valentine's Day.
If you're tired of hot, uncomfortable dress shirts that just don't hold up, sweat stains, stuffy collars, short tails, sound familiar? Meet your new favorite dress shirts from Serve Clothing. The game-changing design features a mesh collar shield that stops sweat stains from ruining your look. Plus, built-in vents keep you comfortable under suits and jackets, no matter the season. You'll love the extra length that stays tucked in and the antimicrobial odor-fighting fabric that keeps you fresh all day. Forget about replacing your dress shirts every 6 months. With Serve Clothing's unbeatable 2-year guarantee, you know your shirt is built to last through the toughest work days in any climate. And giving back is a priority. Last year, Serve Clothing helped to outfit more than 750 missionaries and others in need using a portion of your orders. Don't wait. Serve shirts sold out 4 times last year. Visit serveclothing.com right now to get yours before they're gone. Serve Clothing. Dress shirts that actually serve you. serveclothing.com.
Thanks for tuning into Midday. I'm Maria Shilaos.
Eye on the Hill 2026. Special coverage on KSL News Radio.
Should third graders who are not reading at grade level be held back until their reading skills improve? It's a question posed by many of you on Utah's Capitol Hill in the wake of a rather dismal report released in January, which says roughly half of Utah's kindergarten through third grade students are reading below minimum proficiency levels. State Senator Ann Milner is hoping to address this problem with Senate Bill 241, which aims to tackle many of the literacy challenges faced by Utah's youngest students. Joining me now on Midday Live is Senator Milner. Thank you so much for being with me.
Thank you very much for inviting me. It's good to be here.
Good to have you. Senator, the report was pretty shocking. So what do you propose to do about it? How are we going to fix this problem?
So what we want to be able to do is to make sure that we're helping every child get to when they get to third grade, they're reading at third grade level. But that needs to start at kindergarten and first grade and second grade and third grade. So we already use an Acadian screening tool in each of those grades. We do that 3 times a year. Our goal will be for students who are performing below benchmark for their grade level to have teachers work with parents to develop individual reading plans for those students so we can help those students get up to benchmark. So that can start, and it will start in kindergarten. It can continue in first grade, second grade, third grade. But our goal is to provide a wide range of potential interventions, support for paraprofessionals, training and coaching that we think will help support all of our teachers in our schools in helping every child get there. We know our teachers are working really hard. We know they care about their kids reading, but sometimes it takes having another professional in the room. It takes being able to do some specialized support for a child. Children don't read for different reasons. So being able to take a child that's below benchmark, work on developing appropriate interventions such as tutoring and other support services for those students. Our goal is to get every student reading by third grade at the end of third grade.
So, Senator, this isn't all on the teachers then, who already have a lot of responsibilities.
No, this is meant to help bring a support system around them, both in terms of additional support and help, additional training, coaches, as well as the community has been actively engaged in this. And we have many leaders in our community who are very interested in saying, how do we help? How could we help maybe support some paraprofessionals or some special activities or some parent education, those kinds of things that would make a difference for our schools. So this has the potential of being a total community effort that helps every child read at grade level.
Senator, we had a listener chime in on the KSL News Radio app with a question for you regarding the retention proposal. So let's listen to what Thomas asked.
For holding kids back in third grade, my only thought would be, what are you going to do to make sure when they get held back that they're going to improve? You can't hold somebody back without you putting forth the effort to make sure they succeed.
You're absolutely right. Could not agree more, and we've had that conversation that what we can't do if we hold a child back, we can't just do exactly the same things we've done with them in that third grade year experience. We're going to have to make sure that we're providing the right reading plans, interventions, and supports that gets them to grade level by the end of third grade. So, as I said, my goal is that no student gets there, but if they do, it will be a specialized experience that really is intended to help every child succeed.
Senator, what have you heard from citizens, from parents? Are they concerned about their child being held back?
Well, I think parents what this bill really is trying to do is to make sure we're having ongoing communication with parents. First of all, a third grade retention would not even be something we put in place until 2030. So a student who goes into kindergarten next year would have to get to third grade before the decision might be made to hold back a student that's performing well below grade level. Our goal is to have every student be at first grade, second grade, third grade, and fourth grade, or third grade, working with the parents and the students and interventions that are going to help every student get there.
Senator, appreciate your time. Thanks so much for being with me.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
State Senator Ann Milner joining me. Stay with us. More Eye on the Hill special coverage in just 60 seconds.
Amanda, one of my favorite things to do when I go to the theater is laugh. Any show, it doesn't matter. So one that's designed to make me laugh from start to finish, boy, that is in my wheelhouse. And that's what we've got with Peter Pan Goes Wrong.
When we went into the theater, I'm not sure what we were expecting, but we started laughing early on. And then I realized, oh, I'm laughing that big, loud, obnoxious laugh of mine. But mine wasn't the loudest laugh in the theater. We were all laughing, and that made it more fun.
But you walk in, it actually takes a second to realize, oh, wait, this is actually funny from the moment the curtain rises, and it makes you laugh all the way to the end.
We need that, Andy. Don't we need that?
Oh, it's so helpful, and it's so fun to do in a group of people. It just makes everything more enjoyable.
This is in the Jewel Box stage, and then in the brand new theater.
We've got more laughs with Hallmarked, a spoof on that brand new stage, a new theater at Hale Center Theater to enjoy.
And you can still get season tickets and enjoy all of the wonderful shows, including Anastasia, to finish out the year at Hale Center Theater.
So you can get tickets by calling the box office at 801-984-9000 or online at hct.org.
Utah County is asking the legislature for $2 million to handle the high-profile murder of Charlie Kirk. The county's administrator, Ezra Nair, making the request before a legislative committee this morning.
Last year, our state experienced a historic tragedy, one of the highest profile political assassinations that captured the attention of the entire nation. While this tragedy occurred within our county lines, it took place on state property, and neither the victim nor the accused nor their families were residents of our county. Despite this being a state-level event involving non-residents, under our current structure, our local Utah County taxpayers are footing the entire bill for it. The county commissioners have issued the following joint statement concerning the cost of this case. This case is especially complex due to the level of public interest involved. However, public interest cannot outweigh the constitutional protections guaranteed to both the victim and the accused. Assuring those prosecutions are upheld requires appropriate resources. And then I'll continue. This is not a standard case or even a standard capital case. The very public nature of this case requires unprecedented attention to detail. To provide some context, we are facing increased costs for significantly increased security measures for all parties, multiple Rule 8 certified attorneys who command higher rates, a jury selection process that could take months due to pretrial publicity, and additional resources to manage press briefings and the unique legal complexities of this case.
And he says it's important to note that this isn't the only capital case that the county is handling.
A recent legislative report noted that capital cases cost $1.6 million more per inmate than standard cases. We're currently handling 5 capital cases on behalf of the state. And for each of these, we separately contract defense rather than referring them to the Utah County Public Defender's Office to ensure that each case receives sufficient resources according to best practices by the state's Indigent Defense Commission. Our county directly spends over $13 million annually on public defense and over $16 million annually on prosecution costs. These expenses all come out of our general fund. And as a reminder, counties are limited to the amount of property tax we collect in our general fund through property tax to last year's revenue plus new growth. As home prices increase, our property tax rate decreases proportionately. The system works well to curb government spending. However, within this system, it can be challenging to cover one-time unprecedented spikes, especially given our current rate of inflation. Our county does very well to provide very, very basic services to our residents. We have the lowest per capita property tax in the entire state, and we do our best to limit the scope of our services, and that's how we've been able to accomplish that. As such, over 70% of our general fund budget is allocated directly towards public safety, with even more spent towards indirect support services for these functions. We don't frivolously spend at Utah County. As you know, as you try to balance your budget, public safety is incredibly expensive, and the cost can be difficult to project. While the timing of this case has allowed us to allocate additional resources towards this as part of our 2026 budget, state support will ensure our county can continue to keep up with the increased demands of public safety and dedicate needed resources despite our limited revenue sources.
That is Utah County Administrator Ezra Nair asking the legislature for $2 million to help pay for the county's costs relating to the Charlie Kirk case. The children of Nancy Guthrie still holding on to hope as the search for the missing mother enters its 9th day. In a new video, Today Show anchor Savannah pleading for the return of her mother. We'll get the latest updates on the case coming up after the break. But first, it's traffic, and it's brought to you by UCCU. Direct deposits get you $300. Love where you bank. Ricky?
Just one accident remaining. It's at the ramp to westbound I-80 from 2300 east on the left, not causing any kind of backups. If you're on the main flow of all the Valley freeways, you're good to go. Don't miss the Sportsman's Vacation and RV Show coming to the Mountain America Expo February 12th through 15th. Hundreds of RVs all in one location. Buy tickets online at UtahRVShow.com. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
My savings are gone.
Okay, where were they last?
Here, right before I spent them on that vacation to Aruba.
Weird. Not weird. Not saving now means no money later. For free ways to save, go to feedthepig.org. This message brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
Winter's fun, but
it can be pricey.
With gear, passes, and lessons, the cost of hitting the slopes keeps going up.
We're just going out there to have fun. We're not looking to make it to the Olympics.
But KSL's Daniel Woodruff has ways to save your family money.
It's definitely possible to ski even with a family and not have it be super expensive.
Hitting the slopes without breaking the bank. The cost of Utah. Ski, snow, and savings after the Milan Cortina Games. Tonight at 10.
You are listening to Midday. I'm Maria Shilaos. We're getting updates from the Campus Safety Task Force as the state takes a closer look at safety for students and visitors after the public killing of Charlie Kirk at Utah Valley University. The task force has been working since October and consists of several policy, public safety, and emergency management experts. University of Utah Police Chief Keith Squires says the committee's work will help all Utah schools.
Although our sizes and responsibilities are different throughout the system, we do have things in common, and that's what this committee is coming together for. Such innovations that we've been able to identify related to planning, training, and exercise can be implemented system-wide and used and be scalable. Sharing of information and resources, as an example, because of our opportunity and resources we have, we look to share with our partners throughout the state where we can. And that's what the future of this will involve. And I will add that one of the biggest advantages we've identified in the past few years is our opportunities to be able to identify threats in advance and put things in place where we can actually implement ways to be able to address those on the front end and prevent harm from happening to someone. We created a threat assessment and management team at the University of Utah. When I first stood it up, it was 2 individuals in their first year. They had so many cases, and I think about 160 that they managed that were referred to them. 25% approximately required some direct monitoring and involvement until it was felt that the individuals involved were in a safe place. So I just want to say that for me in my career, we do a lot of responding to emergencies, but those things that we can do in advance, partnering with our other agencies, that public safety agencies that surround us, as well as our stakeholder partners within the universities, will make the difference.
Senator Kathleen Reeby asking that the task force also consider the safety of K through 12 classrooms, which are having a tough time meeting safety requirements.
I know that in a classroom, there's some stuff we're supposed to do right now that really doesn't lend itself to K through 12 teaching. And we're out of compliance and people are mad at us. And it's like, we work with kids. We have to have a fluid system where kids can come and go. And I know that safety-wise, it doesn't make sense, but education-wise, it does. So finding that balance between education and safety is really important for K through 12. It's also been very expensive to implement everything that's come out of education. So, safety. So that's taking out of our education budget and we're moving it into our safety budget to make up those shortfalls. So please be mindful of the experiences we had in K through 12. As I look at external expertise and instructional expertise, in the bill that I presented, I was asking that the people that were going to present at our universities have insurance. I feel like in the last incident, tragic incident, that's a multi-billion-dollar industry that could have had insurance that would have provided a little bit of safety for the taxpayers of the state of Utah. So if we're going to have people come and speak at our universities, they should be a partner in this type of security measures that we are going to do. So that would be my request as well.
Lawmakers asked the task force to be mindful of budgets and practicality as they consider how to make school campuses safer. The task force will have their official recommendations this summer. Determination appearing to turn into desperation as the family of Nancy Guthrie plead for information regarding her disappearance. The search in Pima County, Arizona, now in its 9th day. At this time, a lot of clues, but investigators say they still don't have any solid leads. With more on the investigation and how the Guthries' tone is changing, here's ABC senior investigative reporter Aaron Katursky.
The investigators say they have not developed any suspects. They do not have any video. They do not have any vehicles associated with the taking of Nancy Guthrie. And I think you're right about the tone.
We received your message and we understand. We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we will have peace. This is very valuable to us. And we will pay.
It is difficult to listen to Savannah Guthrie and her siblings as they clutch hands, promise to pay a ransom for the return of their mother. And the tone did seem to shift to one of almost desperation after they had been conciliatory, careful not to antagonize any possible captor, and to show that they are serious. And they will do whatever it takes, including pay money, to get their mother back.
In the supposed ransom note sent to media outlets, there were 2 deadlines listed, one last week, and the next one is this afternoon. But investigators still aren't sure that the notes are actually legitimate or credible.
They know that they were sent to various television stations and to TMZ. And then on Friday, another communication came into a local television station here in Tucson, Brad. And that's the one that Savannah Guthrie referenced, we're told, when she said they will do what it takes to get their mother back.
We received your message and we understand. We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we will have peace. This is very valuable to us and we will pay.
As each day goes on, they believe that the hope that Nancy will be found alive dwindles. Many still have hope that she's okay, but with her health conditions, it's looking less and less likely.
And there has been no proof that Nancy Guthrie, who is 84 and who relies on daily medication and a pacemaker to survive, is alive.
Can you prove that she's alive? And I just simply turn it around. Can you prove she's not?
The sheriff says he believes she is. But that's a belief based on hope.
She's out there. We're going to find her. We have to operate from that position.
You have to have hope.
Absolutely.
They do not know at this point the status of Nancy Guthrie. They know she is in fragile health. They know that her pacemaker disconnected from her phone, which was left behind in the house after she was taken, police say. So the best they can do right now is hope. And as we saw in her church on Sunday, pray.
And police are still struggling to make headway on the investigation. They've previously said that they had received hundreds and hundreds of tips, but nothing solid at this point.
Police tried to track down a possible vehicle of interest. They went to a local convenience store and looked at some surveillance video. That vehicle may have been spotted in a 45-minute window from the Sunday morning at about 1:47 a.m. to 2:28 a.m. when police believe Nancy Guthrie was taken from her home against her will. That's the window in which a doorbell camera disconnected, when a camera inside the home sent a signal that an intruder was inside, even though it wasn't set up to record an image, and when Nancy Guthrie's pacemaker disconnected from her phone.
If any vehicle was spotted and if the video surveillance at the gas station proves useful, Aaron says it could provide a desperately needed lead in the case. But he says that as of right now, police have still not been able to locate that car of interest. It's 1:30, midday at KSL News Radio. Some of the stories we are watching this hour. Heart health takes center stage this month as heart disease continues to rank as the #1 killer of American adults. One northern Utah city pleading for help to bolster its economy following business closures right and left due to construction. And KSL traffic, Ricky.
A delay-free drive on all your Valley freeways. Maria?
The weather, well, we're finally seeing some wet weather along the Wasatch Front. The best chance for rain is going to be a 60% chance that happens on Wednesday. KSL's top local stories in 1 minute. It's 1:30.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. New data released from a nonpartisan research group showing American households were impacted by tariffs.
President Trump's tariffs cost the average American household $1,000 last year. That's according to new research from the nonpartisan Tax Foundation. That cost is set to go even higher this year to $1,300 per household, assuming the existing tariffs stay in place. The Tax Foundation also says the federal government collected $264 billion in total tariff revenues last year, far short of the trillions regularly touted by the president and the White House. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
In Maryland, police in Montgomery County say one person is in custody related to a shooting at Wooton High School. Police responded earlier and confirmed one person was shot inside the school, their condition unknown. We're learning more about the death of actress and comedian Catherine O'Hara. The Los Angeles County Medical Examiner listing the immediate cause of death as pulmonary embolism, along with the rectal cancer as the underlying cause. This is ABC News.
KSL's top local story. Utah County leaders are asking state lawmakers for $2 million taxpayer dollars to help with the cost of running the Tyler Robinson case. He's the man accused of shooting Charlie Kirk at Utah Valley University last fall. KSL News Radio's Adam Small has details.
This isn't the only death penalty case Utah County is handling right now, and each of them cost well over $1 million more than the typical criminal case, and is currently constituted.
Our local Utah County taxpayers are footing the entire bill.
Utah County Government Administrator Ezra Nair told lawmakers the money would go a long way in helping with costs like extra security for those involved in the case and paying death penalty certified attorneys. Nair also noted UVU is state-owned property.
Lawmakers will decide whether to give Utah County the $2 million next month. Other local stories KSL is following. We are hearing about a scuffle at a track station that happened on Friday. Trax PD was called to respond to reports of a disorderly individual and a possible assault. Bystanders sent KSL video of the altercation between the minor suspect and a police officer. Now, the video shows an officer grabbing and pushing a teen boy off a train and onto the ground on the platform.
Don't touch him! Don't touch him! He's a minor! He's a minor!
UTA Public Information Officer Gavin Gustafson says that the incident is still under investigation and they are reviewing the footage of the altercation to ensure their use of force and safety policies were followed correctly. No word on if anyone was injured or what led to the interaction. Taking a look at your money at this moment, the Dow up by 3 points right now, sitting at 50,118. S&P up by 32. The NASDAQ up by 205 points. Traffic and weather together, it's brought to you by UCCU, up to $500 for loan transfers. Love where you bank. Ricky?
We do have drier roads in the valley if you're headed up to the slopes. Big and Little Cottonwood Canyons, even parts of I-80 and Parley's Canyon around the summit and into Park City. You could see some snow flurries, making for a wet road surface. Nothing slick or slushy. And right now, Valley Freeway traffic seeing good speeds with no delay. No matter the weather, your feet can feel fantastic. Find the Good Feet location nearest you at goodfeet.com. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
High temperature staying pretty close to 50 degrees for most of the week. We do have a slight chance of showers almost every single day, but on Wednesday, the greatest chance, 60% chance, and a 40% chance on Thursday. 45 degrees at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios.
The sources where we get our news matters.
When you listen to Utah's Morning News, we want you to feel the stories are important to you and trustworthy. This is Amanda Dixon.
And I'm Andy Farnsworth. Join us weekday mornings on KSL News Radio.
When you need the financial products and services for every stage of life, Cypress Credit Union is there for whatever the future holds. Visit cypresscu.com today.
This is Carla Hall for Eggland's Best. Eggs are a staple in our diets, and there's only one egg with more delicious farm-fresh taste plus superior nutrition. Eggland's Best. With more vitamins, including 6 times more vitamin D and 10 times more vitamin E, plus 25% less saturated fat than ordinary eggs. Available in so many delicious varieties. We've got classic, cage-free, organic, free-range, and pasture-raised. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Amanda, I've been taught to begin with the end in mind. And when it comes to something like weight loss, that's really, really important because some weight loss plans have no end. It's like another refill or another bill or another year, but soda weight loss has a finish line.
You learn it once, you use it forever. And I'm all about health. I mean, I don't want to have my body become addicted to another drug that I have to take forever in order to be healthy. I want the opposite of that. I want fewer medications. I want my body to learn how to do this on its own and be strong.
For so many weight loss drugs, you have to just take them forever in order to maintain that feeling when you cross the finish line. Yeah. When I hit 70 pounds that I let go of in 5 months, what an amazing feeling. And it was amazing to know I could just go forward from this point.
You can talk to a nutritionist and ask all your questions at 866-800-SODA.
Or you can go to sotaweightloss.com. That's SOTA weightloss.com. Because it's SOTA. Join us for a short time to have results that last a lifetime.
You are listening to Midday. I'm Maria Shilaos. Heart health takes center stage this month. After all, February is the month of love. And what do we often associate with love? Hearts. This month is actually American Heart Month, and the American Heart Association has put out a video showing why timing is critical when someone suffers a heart attack. It also outlines the symptoms.
I had pains in my chest and I couldn't breathe.
It was just like someone had set me on fire.
Started with the pains in my shoulders.
I was feeling this pain in the center of my chest that wasn't normal.
And Richard said, "Are you okay?" And I half answered with, "I don't think so."
But the worst was when it went into my arms and down to my wrist.
I woke up in the ER that evening.
Warning signs can be different for everyone, but there are several distinct warning signs or symptoms of a heart attack. Uncomfortable pressure, squeezing, fullness or pain in the center of the chest that lasts more than a few minutes or goes away and comes back. Symptoms can include pain or discomfort in one or both arms, the back, neck, jaw, or stomach. Some victims complain about leg cramps and pains. Shortness of breath, which may occur with or without chest discomfort. Other signs may include cold sweats, nausea, or lightheadedness. If you experience any of these signs, chest discomfort, pain in your upper body, arms and legs, shortness of breath, nausea, or dizziness, take immediate action. Don't wait. Call 911 and get to a hospital right away. By acting quickly, you can benefit from new drugs and treatments that can minimize your heart damage, increase your odds of a speedy recovery, and even save your life. But time is critical.
Let's keep talking about your heart, arguably the most important organ of your entire body. In this segment of Health Matters on Midday, I'm joined by Dr. Richard Ferguson to discuss the seriousness of heart disease and how we can prevent it. Basically, how can we keep our ticker going long and strong?
In honor of heart disease and its recognition this month, we have to understand it's still the number one killer in the U.S. I think in 2023, almost 700,000 deaths, 1 in 5 in the nation as a result of heart disease. So most important message I would often want to let people know is if you don't know your blood pressure, your cholesterol, or your blood sugar, you don't know your risk. And these can be checked and treated. So the biggest modifiable drivers, I would say, is knowing if you have high blood pressure, knowing if you have high cholesterol, and smoking. Those are often the 3 key risk factors. And often the amount of particulate matter that we had just discussed a little bit earlier can almost feel like smoking amounts to the damage it can do to your lungs when we have an orange air quality day or a red quality day. So I would say blood pressure control. That's one way how we can reduce our risk, especially if it's identified. So that means often home BP checks. If you have known blood pressure, high blood pressure, taking your medications for it. And then also stopping smoking. Good thing we're in a state right now with a low index of smoking per capita compared to, say, states in the Southeast. So stopping smoking, knowing if you have blood pressure, high elevated blood pressure. The other thing is move your body. This directly lowers risk factors. So regular physical activity, and I think I've spoken about this before. Regular physical activity helps lower blood pressure, reduce cholesterol, make sure there's an even blood sugar. And the benchmark that we should try to shoot for, and I often say this when I lead my brothers and sisters that run activity group, 150 minutes per week, moderate activity. So that's getting to about 60 to 70% of your max heart rate. And that can just be a brisk walk. We're not saying you need to sign up for a 5K. I'm talking 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. That can lower one's blood pressure, also one's cholesterol, and keep your blood sugar a little bit more even.
I think it's so important to talk about because I think a lot of times people equate exercise with losing weight. But it's not just about that. It's about being healthy.
No. Actually, doing a lot of cardio, as someone that does a lot, I don't do it to maintain my weight. I do a lot of triathlons. I do it for heart health. I do it to make sure that I don't go on to progress to develop high blood pressure and then possibly have a stroke in my early 50s because I didn't control my risk of developing heart disease. And it's a higher risk, of course, for those that are Black men in our nation, particularly those of just West African descent. I mean, it's a number one killer for all Americans, but disproportionately so if you're African American.
Okay, anything?
So I take it very seriously.
Yeah. Any final thoughts on heart health?
Check your blood pressure and get outside or go to your indoor local rec center to walk, depending on how the air quality is that day. I would say get moving. It can do more to prolong one's life and reduce one's risk of having the unfortunate side effects of heart disease, which would be stroke or heart attack. Get out there moving, people, and make sure you identify if you have elevated blood pressure that needs to be treated.
Dr. Richard Ferguson is an emergency room doctor and the founder of the Black Physicians of Utah. Midday continues in just 60 seconds.
How do they get so excited about 50 yards?
Think of what you could sew with that.
But you need a really great sewing machine, a Bernina.
Get Bernina sewing, serging, and embroidery machines and accessories at fantastic prices. The Bernina Super Weekend Sale.
Don't miss the Dave's Bernina Super Weekend Sale at their Provo and St. George locations. Now until February 14th.
Save hundreds to thousands of dollars on all new Bernina machines.
0% interest for 48 months on certain machines.
Even the most advanced sewing machine in the world, the Bernina 990, is on sale.
Incredible savings on top of the line special event demo machines that come with full 5-year warranties. Take advantage of 20% off Bernina and Burnett presser feet.
Dave's Bernina just received a limited amount of school buybacks in excellent condition with 2-year warranties. With a doorbuster price of $4.99. Dave's Bernina, 691 East St. George Boulevard and 2017 North 550 West in Provo. Dave's Bernina.
Breaking news, we are learning more about a shooting in Kearns this weekend. Unified Police say they responded to reports of shots fired at David Gorley Park. They found a wounded teen who was taken to the hospital in serious condition. Police say they have since arrested 2 suspects who are between 15 and 16 years old. They do believe that this was a gang-related shooting. It's unfortunately one of the downfalls of construction. It can hurt local businesses. Over the past few years, we've told you about construction projects in Salt Lake City along 300 West and 2100 South, and how those multi-year construction projects contributed to the closure of several businesses. Well, Salt Lake City isn't the only one. Now the city of Clinton is looking to make a comeback after years of construction have hurt their businesses. Mayor Marie Doherty says locals have been shopping in neighboring cities because of the construction hassle, and now Clinton businesses need some help.
UDOT has been able to mostly leave one lane open, but the construction is so intense, and it's on both of those main arterials, such that people have told me for a year now that they've just been avoiding Clinton. Even people who live here, they say to me, we just go to Riverdale, we just go to Layton to shop, we go to Syracuse, we don't even want to bother with the construction. And so it's been really hard to hear that, and I've said to them, don't do that. The businesses need you. You got to keep shopping. You got to keep dealing with the construction, but people don't want to, right? It stresses them out. It's very frustrating to manage that kind of construction. So even though we're very grateful to UDOT is doing the best they can. They've come through and started these projects when they had funding made available to them from the legislature. So they have some constraints. We're really grateful and appreciative. We feel that UDOT is making an investment in our future with these projects, and we are grateful for them. At the same time, the magnitude of this construction is such that it's causing an economic stressor for our city and our businesses. So just getting that support from the public right now would be huge for us. It's a way for us to say, we know we're making an investment in our future with this construction, but we need an investment right now in the local businesses who have been hanging on for dear life for us. They've been trying to keep their lights on through this construction.
Doherty tells KSL News Radio's Britt Johnson the city is hosting fun games and prizes this week to get people to come out and shop, a family night, and there's an app where you can upload your receipts and win giveaways. She says businesses along 2000 West in Clinton have recorded losses of over 40%.
You have people who have launched their own little business, doing like a catering business, or they've opened a little salon or something that's on the smaller end that's not a franchise. We have some of those. And then we also have, your Pizza Huts and Great Harvests and McDonald's and Burger Kings and those types of things. And those are fun too because they are often managed by locals who are also feeling the stress. And so even if it's a franchise that might be doing well on the national level, it's still really, the success still really matters to these local business owners or business managers. So we've got a great mix, and we have people who come from other cities to shop in Clinton, and we want the friends from surrounding cities to know that they are also welcome for Clinton's Comeback Week. I hope people will come find a store they've never shopped at before and try it, and maybe they'll find a new favorite, and just give all the businesses a chance.
Last year, the city's finance director forecasted a $200,000 shortfall in Clinton's sales tax. More than 100 million people tuned in for the Super Bowl halftime show last night. After the break, we'll get some analysis of the mostly Spanish performance. But first, it's KSL Traffic. It's brought to you by UCCU. Earn 4.4 Earn 4.44% savings at uccu.com. Ricky?
We do have the final cleanup of an earlier accident. It really isn't causing any problem, but just keep an eye out for it. It's at the ramp to westbound I-80 at 2300 East on the left, but overall a quiet drive on the Valley freeways. Arrive in style for all of life's events, from the first suit to the first dance, preparing to serve or starting a life together. Every age, every milestone. For nearly 60 years, Mr. Mac, helping you look your best for all of life's events. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
Amanda, one of my favorite things to do when I go to the theater is laugh. Any show, it doesn't matter. So one that's designed to make me laugh from start to finish, boy, that is in my wheelhouse. And that's what we've got with Peter Pan Goes Wrong.
When we went into the theater, I'm not sure what we were expecting, but we started laughing early on. And then I realized, I'm laughing that big, loud, obnoxious laugh of mine. But mine wasn't the loudest laugh in the theater. We were all laughing, and that made it more fun.
But you walk in, it actually takes a second to realize, wait, this is actually funny from the moment the curtain rises, and it makes you laugh all the way to the end.
We need that, Andy. Don't we need that?
Oh, it's so helpful, and it's so fun to do in a group of people. It just makes everything more enjoyable.
This is in the Jewel Box stage, and then in the brand new theater,
we've got more laughs with Hallmarked, a spoof on that brand new stage, a new theater at Hale Center Theater to enjoy.
And you can still get season tickets and enjoy all of the wonderful shows, including Anastasia, to finish out the year at Hale Center Theater.
So you can get tickets by calling the box office at 801-984-9000 or online at hct.org.
Sign up for KSL Text Alerts. Get breaking news and traffic updates by texting the word news to 57500. Want access to exclusive contests? Text contest to 57500. Jazz fans, text the word jazz for breaking jazz updates. And Cougar fans, text BYU to 57500 for the latest on the Cougars. Message and data rates may apply.
This week's movie show brought to you by Sound Sleep. Get a free sleep screening and a free sleep consultation by tuning in on Friday morning. Sound Sleep with 7 locations in Utah.
Hey, Utah! Are you ready for the Utah Mammoth to hit the ice? From game-winning goals to behind-the-scenes moments, Mammoth Plus brings the action to you all season long. Whether you're at home, on the go, or in the stands, don't miss a single shift. Visit UtahMammothPlus.com and start streaming today. That's UtahMammothPlus.com. Every game, every goal, live on Mammoth Plus.
Think switching to T-Mobile's a whole complicated thing? Nah, it's easy. You can do it almost anywhere in just 15 minutes.
Even poolside like Drewski, you can switch to T-Mobile and unlock savings that are built to last. With T-Mobile's Better Value Plan, you can save over $1,000 a year versus Verizon and AT&T. Save on streaming, satellite, and more benefits that they leave out.
Now I get all the VIP perks.
Start saving from day one, and for a limited time, get T-Mobile's Better Value Plan.
I know you love deals.
Plus, switch right now, and we'll even pay off your old phone up to $800. What do you think of all that, Drewski?
Stay chillin', just switch it. It's better over here.
Check the math at T-Mobile.com/better value. Savings versus comparable plans at AT&T and Verizon, plus the cost of optional benefits. Plan features and taxes and fees vary. With 3+ lines of Better Value Plan. 3+ new lines and 2 eligible ports, or 3+ lines and 5+ years on T-Mobile postpaid plan required. Qualifying credit required. Check out in 15 minutes or less per line. Get up to $800 per line via virtual prepaid card. Typically takes 15 days after rebate submission. Qualifying unlocked device credit service port in 90+ days with device and eligible carrier, and timely redemption required. No cash access and card expires in 6 months. Card issued by Sunrise Banks N.A. member FDIC.
Since 1947, Whipple Service Champions has been Utah's most trusted name for heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical services. Got a high-priced repair bill from another company and you're just not sure about it? Call Whipple. Get a free, no-pressure estimate or bring us their quote for an honest second opinion. Totally free. Whipple Service Champions, Utah's first place for second opinions since 1947. Call 385-273-7167 for your free estimate today. 385-273-7167.
A warning on cryptocurrency kiosk scams from AARP Utah. Scammers are getting smarter, and Utahns are paying the price. Criminals are using cryptocurrency ATMs to commit fraud, stealing people's retirement savings and costing Utahns millions of dollars a year. Many scams start with an unexpected call, text, or email from someone claiming to be a trusted source, like your bank, a business you use, or even law enforcement. They'll tell you there's an urgent problem and instruct you to take cash to a crypto kiosk or ATM. They may even stay on the phone pressuring you to act fast and keep it secret. But once you feed cash into a crypto ATM, it's converted to cryptocurrency and sent to the scammer's wallet. And it can be almost impossible to recover. Remember, no legitimate organization will ever ask you to pay with cryptocurrency. Learn more at the rising cost of cryptocurrency scams by visiting aarp.org/UT. A message paid for by AARP Utah.
This is Midday. I'm Maria Shilaos. A major win for the Seattle Seahawks as they dominated the New England Patriots in Super Bowl 60. In the next hour of Midday, we'll talk more about the game itself and the slew of ads costing up beaucoup bucks to produce. But first, let's talk about the halftime show. It was a highly anticipated show featuring Puerto Rican Spanish musician Bad Bunny. His selection, not without controversy, however. With more on how the performance actually went and how fans responded, here's Brad Milkey on the Start Here podcast.
They don't even have to learn Spanish. They just, it's better if they learn to dance.
Bad Bunny, the Puerto Rican superstar, coming off a Grammy win for Album of the Year, was not the first artist to deliver a pulsating pop music performance at the big game, but he was the first to do it entirely in Spanish.
Mi nombre es Benito Antonio Martínez Ocasio.
For 13 minutes, the field at Levi Stadium was transformed into an immersive set. Cameras followed Bad Bunny through a maze of sugarcane, then to the streets of San Juan. These performers were not just dancers. They played street vendors, domino players, block party goers. This was not just a song. This was a tour.
Qué rico es ser Latino.
You know, it opened with Qué rico es ser Latino, which is like how amazing it is to be Latino.
This is Vanessa Diaz, Associate Professor of Latino Studies at Loyola Marymount University. She's the co-author of, well, I can't say the full title of her book. Let's call it P-bleeping-R, How Bad Bunny Became the Global Voice of Puerto Rican Resistance. She teaches an entire course about Bad Bunny's cultural influence.
Bad Bunny is one of the world's biggest superstars, and he is from Vega Baja, Puerto Rico, which is a small town about 45 minutes west of San Juan.
My biggest achievement, my biggest pleasure is just create, have fun doing it, and connect with the people.
He's known for advocating for causes like LGBTQ rights. He pushes the envelope. He, came out in support of the Puerto Rican independence candidate for governor in 2024.
She says this was an incredible moment for Latinos. At a time when people are being stopped by immigration agents for merely speaking Spanish or speaking accented English, this stood out as a moment of intense pride. But she also says, don't let that fool you into thinking the NFL was trying to make a big political stance.
The NFL chose him because it was a really smart business decision. Bad Bunny is the most streamed artist in the world as of 2025.
Well, boy, did they get their money's worth.
There's no doubt in my mind this is going to be the most watched Super Bowl halftime show in history. People who hated it wanted to watch it. People who loved it wanted to watch it, right? I mean, Donald Trump said he wasn't going to watch it, and he already tweeted how horrible it was. So I'm like, well, did you watch it then?
She says Bad Bunny is one of the most intentional artists out there. Nothing's an accident. Everything's a choice, like when he passed a cart selling piraguas or shaved ice.
Each of the piragua syrups, the flavors, they have a different flag on them. So there was a Puerto Rican flag, a Colombian flag, the Spanish flag, and a Mexican flag. And he, those are some of the countries referenced in the song Titi Me Preguntó, which is what he's singing as he passes by.
A more serious moment came from his song El Apagón, as a flash of light surged through faux electrical cables, sending dancers flailing.
That's about blackouts in Puerto Rico, and so the whole set around that was really specific and spoke to the history of, Hurricane Maria that devastated Puerto Rico in 2017.
But as Lady Gaga joined in, as Ricky Martin, who paved the way for Puerto Rican artists a generation ago, gave a triumphant solo, as dancers swayed and spun to salsa and reggaeton, and as a wedding went down on stage, an actual official wedding, all that joy was enough to make you forget how controversial this pick had been.
I think the president would much prefer a Kid Rock performance over Bad Bunny, I must say that.
Many conservatives decried the selection as un-American. Of course, Bad Bunny is American. Puerto Rico is American. And there were no mass protests when the Rolling Stones or the Who played the Super Bowl. They're very much un-American. Now, the thing that seemed to make people uncomfortable was they couldn't understand the words.
He spoke to them in Spanish and told them to believe in themselves. That's what he said. You know,
By the way,
don't
and with
even
no
do that.
subtitles for the English-speaking
With no
audience, by the way.
subtitles. It wasn't for them, and that's just fine.
As counter-programming, the conservative group Turning Point USA held its own alternative halftime show featuring Kid Rock. But back in Santa Clara, the main event ended with several triumphant images. Bad Bunny handing a child the Grammy he just won, welcoming a parade of flags representing South, Central, and North American countries by name.
God bless America! Sea Chile!
It was a reminder that in much of the Western Hemisphere, America does not just refer to the United States. What we may think of as the New World, full of individual countries, is all connected by history, by language, by culture, and by blood.
Everything was like juxtaposition of the beauty and the difficulty, the culture and the richness and the suffering and pain.
Bad Bunny held up a football to the camera with the words, "Together, we are America." He spiked it, victorious. What's a more American image than that?
Early overnight numbers show that somewhere between 135 and 142 million people watched Bad Bunny's halftime show last night. On YouTube, where the alternate show sponsored by Turning Point USA featuring Kid Rock aired, roughly 5 to 6 million people tuned in. In the next hour of Midday, we'll get a check on how Seattle fans are reacting to last night's win. I hope you'll stay with us.
KSL FM Midvale.
KSL Salt Lake City.
From the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios, this is KSL News Radio.
Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
More than a decade after losing the Super Bowl to the New England Patriots, the Seattle Seahawks finding redemption. The voice of the Hawks, Steve Rabel, barely able to contain his excitement.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest, and the party begins at Levi Stadium and in Seattle, and it won't stop for days.
The time is 2 o'clock on Monday, February 9th. It's midday. I'm Maria Shilaos. Coming up, it's the day after the Super Bowl, the one day more Americans call out of work than any other day in the year. We'll get a full breakdown of the game with our partners in Seattle, plus a deep dive into the many, many commercials. Also this hour,
just a mere 13 seconds into the downhill race, she crashed, her pole hitting the gate. Vaughn, heard screaming in pain, was airlifted off the mountain.
Oh, did you see it? Tragedy for Lindsey Vonn at the Winter Games, yet excitement and success for other American athletes. We'll get a live check-in on the games with KSL 5 TV coming up at 2:40. But first, our top stories. Surgeons at Intermountain Health Primary Children's Hospital say a new, less invasive fetal surgery is improving outcomes for babies diagnosed with spina bifida. KSL News Radio's Eric Cabrera explains.
Moms in Utah are now getting a procedure that used to require traveling out of state, a fetoscopic surgery that repairs spina bifida before birth with just 3 small incisions. Dr. Stephen Fenton told me the biggest change is how they reach the uterus.
Just like I would take out a gallbladder, just like I would take out an appendix. And so the uterus remains relatively the same.
That can mean fewer complications for mom and a better chance at reducing serious issues for baby, like fluid buildup in the brain. Madison Vance had the surgery at 26 weeks pregnant and says so far they're hopeful.
Her brain is beautiful, and that part of it is all we could ever ask for.
Doctors say they've already performed the procedure multiple times and expect to do about 15 this year. From Primary Children's Hospital, Eric Cabrera, KSL News Radio.
Our top national story from ABC News. The measles outbreak has grown in the U.S., according to recent CDC data. Now the agency is focusing on one southern state where health officials believe all the cases are tied to under-vaccinated or unvaccinated communities. ABC's Rena Roy has the latest.
With more than 700 cases reported so far in 2026, we're now seeing over 4 times the number of cases than we typically see throughout an entire year. One of the hardest hit states, South Carolina. Hundreds in the state under quarantine. Erica Pace, who lives there, recently came down with the measles.
Well, when my rash came out, that's when I decided to go get tested for it.
The administrator of the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, Dr. Mehmet Oz, urging Americans to get their shots.
Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Measles was declared eliminated in the U.S. in 2000. Health officials say these record-breaking numbers are believed to be a result of declining vaccination rates over the last 25 years. Taking a look at your money at this moment, the Dow ending the day up 20 points to sit at 50,135. S&P up by 32 points. The NASDAQ up by 207 points, nearly a full percent. Traffic and weather, it's brought to you by UCCU. Direct deposit gets you $300. Love where you bank. Ricky?
We do have a pretty quiet drive on the Valley freeways at this time. I am seeing some traffic getting busy and a little slow northbound Bangerter Highway in West Valley, approaching 4100 south, but overall no big issues to get in your way and slow you down if you're out on I-15, 215, I-80, or the 201. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
High temperatures this week staying pretty close to 50 degrees. We do have a 20% chance of rain today and tomorrow, up to a 60% chance on Wednesday. 45 degrees at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios.
Mornings are for recharging.
And they're for starting your day right.
We volunteer to join you in the car. Get news and weather at 102.7 FM during the most important part of your day.
Andy and Amanda, each morning between 5 and 9 on KSL News Radio.
Getting help with electrical repairs is easier than you think. All you have to do is call Any Hour Services or schedule an appointment at anyhourservices.com. No one helps more homeowners than Any Hour Services.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to A to Z Savings, our biggest sale of the year.
Happy to be here. Can I get some rotors?
Would you like brake pads with that?
How much are the brake pads?
Free with Duralast rotors.
Free. Really?
Really? Free.
I also need some oil.
Would you like an oil filter with that?
Yeah. How much is that?
Free with the oil.
Free. Really?
Really. Free. It's part of A to Z Savings with hundreds of deals.
From A to free.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Ends March 9. Restrictions apply.
Progressive presents a guided meditation.
Hear the birds sing. A chipmunk nibbling on an acorn. Smell the pine needles gently falling into your living room as the breeze blows through the gaping hole in your roof. Gaze up at that broken tree branch and relax, because you bundle your home and auto with Progressive and have the peace of mind of 24/7 protection. So relaxing.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
I'm back to doing what I love and more, thanks to the Good Feet store.
Do you want to walk, play pickleball, and enjoy other fun activities to stay healthy, but you can't because of bad feet? Hi, this is Mike, and the Good Feet store wants to help.
I just had difficulty walking. I tried them on in the store, and my foot felt so much better.
Do you keep buying new shoes and inserts with little or no relief?
I tried all kinds of shoes. It was the arch supports that made the difference from the Good Feet store.
Don't let bad feet, knees, or back problems get in the way of staying healthy and having fun.
Thanks to the Good Feet store, I bowl in 3 nights a week.
Get back to doing what you love. At the Good Feet store, we'll personally fit you at high-quality arch supports to maximize your comfort. Stop in the Good Feet store or book your free fitting at goodfeet.com. We have locations in Farmington, Riverton, and Sandy.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Mortgage interest rates are at their lowest point in nearly 2 years. So why go to a bank or credit union when you can go to Loans by Rick? Rick has been doing mortgage loans for 25 years, and many customers go to Loans by Rick after shopping banks and credit unions to get a lower interest rate and lower closing costs. Whether you're buying a home or refinancing, call 801-809-SAVE or click loansbyrick.com. Rick Kirschenbaum, NMLS 241179, and Vintage Lending, NMLS 287106. Equal Opportunity Lender.
Thanks for tuning into Midday. I'm Maria Shilaos. A sweet comeback several years in the making for the Seattle Seahawks, dominating the New England Patriots in Super Bowl 60. The Seahawks controlling the game from start to finish, defeating the Patriots 29-13. We begin this hour of Midday discussing the game and how the Hawks came out swinging from the very beginning. And joining me live is Mike Lefko, a producer for our sister station, Seattle Sports. And first of all, Mike, are you still riding on the cloud today?
How's it going, Maria? Yeah, I'm surprised I have a voice. So great to be with you this afternoon. I think everyone still is in a state of uplift here this afternoon in Seattle.
This was quite a redemption arc for the Seahawks. Tell us about that.
You know, it's funny you use that word. I think that's the word that's been thrown around here this morning and all day on our station and all throughout the city is redemption. Redemption for their quarterback, Sam Darnold, who was kind of cast aside. He had a lot of promise coming into the league, didn't live up to expectations. He bounced around from team to team. First year in Seattle, he leads the Seahawks to the Super Bowl. Redemption for the Seahawks front office, where they won a couple Super Bowls, or won one Super Bowl and went to two, about 10 years ago, a little over a decade ago, and then kind of went through some ups and downs. And they were much scrutinized for getting rid of their star quarterback, Russell Wilson. They made a move that at the time seemed a little unpopular to get rid of Pete Carroll, who had been so beloved in Seattle. But it all comes back, and it's just that redemption story, for the front office, for the quarterback, and even not really for their coach, Mike Macdonald, but just kind of cap off the faith they had because he is very young, third youngest coach to win a Super Bowl, and in just his second season here. So redemption, is the perfect word to describe this Seahawks team.
You mentioned the comeback story for the quarterback, so tell us a little bit more about that. I mean, what made the difference this game?
Well, it's a wonderful story because he was a guy that was drafted third overall. So you get drafted that high in the NFL, and everyone expects you to be a superstar. And he went to the Jets, which is not the most cohesive run operation, a little dysfunctional. Didn't go well there. He bounced around from team to team to team. And then last year, he was playing for a different team, the Minnesota Vikings, and he had two of his worst games on the biggest stage. So they didn't want to bring him back. He comes here. He lets kind of others carry it. The defense was so solid. He didn't make mistakes. He kind of played within himself, and I think he gained a lot of confidence with the team around him. So it was just a wonderful story for Sam Darnold.
So what is your biggest takeaway from the game?
That's a great question. I think what really stood out, kind of something we've talked about this whole season with the Seahawks team, is that it was team over pretty much any individual superstar. We were all down there in the chaos of the Super Bowl last week during our shows, and people are asking, well, who's the biggest name on the Seahawks, or who's the most talked about player on the Seahawks? And they really would just point to the quarterback, Sam Darnold. But that's because, in the NFL, the quarterback takes an outsized amount of attention. There really isn't a standout guy. They all kind of play together. They don't put anyone above themselves. And I think that's the reason why this team, in just the second year for head coach Mike Macdonald, is a Super Bowl champion. There were no egos. There was no one putting themselves above the team. And I think everyone watching kind of saw that play out because that defense was really impressive. I mean, the Patriots didn't score until the game was pretty much already in hand. So everyone on the defense and everyone on offense, they kind of put team first over any individual goal or accolade. And I know that's a little cliche at times, but when you see a team win like that, it's really what stood out about this team.
Well, it has to feel really good. I mean, the national experts in the beginning of the season had very low expectations, so this has to feel really great.
Yeah, it really does. And I think that's the reason why, because this past offseason, the Seahawks had moved on from two of their most well-known players on offense, their prior starting quarterback, one of their better wide receivers. So they had kind of this no-name offense. And if you're looking around the league when the season begins, there are more flashy teams. There are more flashy superstars on other teams. So all these national experts kind of pick maybe another team in their division or other teams around the league. And the Seahawks kind of flew under the radar. And so going back to what we first talked about, redemption, kind of from that sense of everyone sleeping on them at the start of the year as well.
All right, Mike, thanks so much for being with us today.
Yeah, thanks, Maria. Appreciate it.
Mike Lefko is a Seattle sports producer joining me. In just 60 seconds, we'll get reaction from the fans, commonly known as the 12s, and the celebrations about to get underway in Seattle. You want to stay with us.
Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, Friday through Sunday, 2 locations, Salt Lake. and Hurricane. Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Utah State Fair Park, 18-month interest-free financing. Our factories have demanded we sell 1,000 hot tubs and swim spas this weekend. Washington County Fairgrounds Legacy Park. Huge factory incentives, factory rebates this weekend only. Utah State Fair Park, we can remove your old hot tub. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Hot tubs starting at $2,999. Washington County Fairgrounds, Legacy Park. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Just relax and enjoy. 2 locations, just Sandy and Hurricane. Friday, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Utah State Fair Park, Salt Lake, and Washington County Fairgrounds, Legacy Park, Hurricane. Call 833-SPA-SALE.
Super Bowl 60 is in the bag, and the Seattle Seahawks came out on top. The team defeating the New England Patriots in a game more than a decade in the making. You'll remember that the Patriots beat the Seahawks in Super Bowl 49. The game held at Levi Stadium in San Francisco last night, and joining me is Luke Ducey from our sister station, Seattle Cairo News Radio. Luke's still in the Bay Area as he recovers from quite an exciting night. And I asked him, thinking back to the beginning of the season, how surprised he is to see the Seahawks do so well and come away as Super Bowl champions.
Oh, I mean, we're super excited right now. The whole city is celebrating, I'm sure. I'm still here in San Francisco. Can't wait to get back there tonight and celebrate with all my family, friends, and fellow 12s. But, all along this season, we've been kind of like, I can't believe we're winning these games. I can't believe we're 14-3. I can't believe we're in the division. I can't believe we're in the NFC Championship. I can't believe we're in the Super Bowl. And that held true all the way up until the final seconds of the game. I mean, it was just incredible. But we've been disappointed in the past, so we have learned not to celebrate too soon. But what a fantastic time. The 12s, the Seahawks fans really made their presence known outside Levi Stadium before the game, a sea of blue and green, and absolutely inside. You probably heard it on your TVs as you were watching. Whenever our defense was up, they were loud.
Does it make it more sweet to beat the team that you lost to in the Super Bowl last time?
Yes, it absolutely does. We still have those memories, and we're reminded of it on every single highlight. That interception by Malcolm Butler, and it was really just a stab in the back with a twist of that knife during the game, right before the game, when Malcolm Butler appeared in the stadium to ring the bell for the Patriots to get their fans hyped up. All those memories came flooding back. So yeah, it's been a real struggle, a real trauma, honestly, for a lot of fans. 12 years. It's been 12 years since that interception, and a lot of those memories though were erased last night.
So what is in store to celebrate the Seahawks? You mentioned you're still in San Francisco, but I know there have got to be plans underway.
There are plans underway. Apparently there's a parade in the works. They're calling it the event. They don't want to call it a parade just yet. I don't know why, but we're going to be flooding downtown Seattle this Wednesday in the morning. A lot of the players I've heard are flying to Las Vegas today to continue their celebration, so they better get back in time. I do want to take you back to one moment during the game. As much as I wanted to watch those final seconds of the game, I actually turned my microphone and myself toward these 2 lifelong fans, Mike and John. They were watching in angst, begging the MOB, the name of our defense, to tackle running back Trevion Henderson with the Patriots inbounds to let that clock run out. Here's that sound.
Here we go. Let him run. Keep him in. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it.
We couldn't in any way minimize how important this really is for the fans, could we?
No, this team means everything. It's really difficult to explain what a 12 is and what that means. It's hard to put into words because it's really a feeling that people have. I try to explain it this way. You can walk down the street and if you see someone wearing Seahawks colors, you just say, "Go Hawks." They'll say, "Go Hawks" right back. You end phone conversations with "Go Hawks, go Hawks." If you're in a crowd anywhere in the world, and you yell out, "See," you will get someone replying back, "Hawks," and that means they are a true fan. It is something that we have we bond over, and this is a sweet, sweet moment that we have been waiting for a long time, and it is pretty incredible.
Anything that we need to add that I haven't asked you?
the city of San Francisco has been very welcoming. As you all know, this is San Francisco 49ers territory, and we've been welcomed by a lot of 49ers fans. They tell me the same thing over the last week was, hey, we hope you enjoy the city, but, we're not really fans of yours, and we don't really like that you're here. This morning, the day after the Super Bowl, now it's a little more like nudge, nudge, time to leave, go home, get out of our city. So we're back to being rivals once again, but what a fantastic celebration here in San Francisco. They were very gracious and very welcoming.
And we know rivalries make it more exciting anyway, right?
Absolutely. We'll be back next season. You better believe it.
Luke Ducey with Cairo News Radio joining me from San Francisco. After the break...
Sun's in my eyes.
Now we asked you to chime in on your favorite commercial from the Super Bowl, and Budweiser's Freebird commercial appears to have taken the cake. A full breakdown of the ads coming up next, but first it's traffic. It's brought to you by UCCU, up to $500 for loan transfers. Love where you bank. Ricky?
We have a crash with injuries, possible injuries in West Valley, northbound Bangerter Highway, debris across the roadway. This is at 4100 South. Right now they are using the push bar method to get some of these vehicles out of traffic. Until that is complete, 2 right lanes of travel are blocked, so northbound on Bangerter at 4100 South, only 1 left lane open. You can expect some delays. Save hundreds to thousands on all new Bernina machines at Dave's Bernina in Provo and St. George. 48 months, no interest. Great deals on demo and used machines with warranties. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
Tim Jr. here from RGS Exteriors. Did you know that we offer 3 distinct styles of gutter protection? Each one meant to handle a specific leaf problem. You might not even know there are different styles of gutter protection, but there are. And if you pick the wrong one, it could be a huge waste of money. Now, the big gutter guard companies won't tell you this. They try to sell you a one-size-fits-all gutter guard. And it could be completely wrong for the amount and types of trees and leaves you have. Not RGS Exteriors. We understand which kind of leaf problem needs which kind of gutter guard. We'll do an in-depth evaluation to assess the types, locations, and numbers of trees in your yard. Based on that data, we match your home to the right gutter guard. So don't risk wasting money on the wrong gutter protection. For a free evaluation and estimate, call RGS Exteriors at 801-280-3110 or visit rgsexteriors.com. That's 801-280-3110 or rgsexteriors.com.
Hi, I'm Utah tax attorney Jordan Wilcox. When the IRS invades your life, it's never good news. Keep in mind, it's not just you.
I owed roughly $34,000.
$61,000. When the IRS first contacted me, I was horrified.
When they start hounding you and harassing you and assaulting you.
Don't face the IRS alone. With everything in your life at stake, don't trust just anyone.
From what I got told was being done in a matter of 2 years, he had done in a matter of like 48 hours.
It's a great thing to have the IRS off your back.
We have reduced our tax liability by over $42,000.
Once I signed on with Jordan, I never talked to the IRS again.
It changed our lives.
You need someone to fight for you. Visit endtaxworry.com and get relief today. Let's solve your tax problems now. Visit endtaxworry.com. That's endtaxworry.com.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take Dayquil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Ugh, okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the Dayquil.
Undo your flu symptoms with Dayquil Intense Flu. Dayquil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
Dayquil Intense Flu. The daytime coughing, aching, fever, under your flu medicine. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline nasal spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
You were listening to Midday. I'm Maria Shilaos. Another Super Bowl in the books and another round of Super Bowl commercials. ABC's Sherry Preston has more on why companies were willing to shell out an average $267,000 per second for an ad this year.
Why do companies like Pepsi, stealing Coke's popular polar bear from years ago, pay in excess of $8 million for 30 seconds of airtime during the Super Bowl? Supply and demand. The Super Bowl is one of the few times that 100 million of us, a third of the country, are watching something all at the same time. There's only so much ad space to go around, and the demand is huge.
Sweet sandwich time.
Viewers can't fast forward. In fact, they don't want to. They want to see ads that show Andy Samberg dressed as Meal Diamond, even the talking toilets for Liquid IV, reminding you to stay hydrated. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
So how did the ads actually do? Any of them more memorable than the others? We asked you to chime in on KSL News Radio social media accounts, and this is what you had to say. Sarah said, Goodwill Duncan was her favorite commercial. Hilarious. Jana, Benson Boone, and Ben Stiller with Instacart. Carr, the one about kindness to your neighbors. What a message the world needs now. Steve said, not impressed by the ads. Overall, he thinks the quality of the ads has diminished over time, and he honestly didn't find any of them that clever. On the other hand, he was absolutely floored by the halftime show. Scott said the Budweiser horse and the bald eagle commercial, by far the best. In fact, a lot of you said the same thing. You really liked Budweiser's commercial. The Dunkin' commercial seemed to be pretty popular, too. So what about the experts? What did they think of the ads? Walt McRoberts is a partner and executive vice president at Make Advertising. His team will rate the ads this afternoon, and he tells me what they look for.
Well, there's going to be several items that will be considered inside of there. And it might be, you might look at how they played out the ad. Was it humor? Was it drama? Did it pull at the heartstrings? So some of those are going to play in that role. And also, if they're really conveying the message to the consumer so that they stand out in a way that you're going to remember them. Because if they move too quickly or they use the content in a wrong way, then we just kind of move on with life or move on with the football game, and we don't even remember what they aired.
Right. I know your team's going to evaluate these, but kind of give me a couple of your personal favorites.
Absolutely. So from a pure strategy perspective, I really liked what Pepsi did with the polar bears. It reminded me of when Verizon lost out on the Can You Hear Me Now guy, and Sprint picked him up and started running him in the Super Bowl. It was kind of the same thing. Coke pulled out of the Super Bowl. Pepsi jumped in and grabbed the polar bear, who did a blind taste test with Coke and Pepsi and kept choosing Pepsi, right? And so they kind of stole their main player that they've been using for so many ways. I thought from a strategy perspective, that was really smart. Some of the other ones are really great, from Budweiser showing the eagle, right, and the horse kind of growing up with this little bird and sheltering, protecting it, and then it became the bald eagle. Lay's pulled at the heartstrings a little bit on a potato chip, which you really wouldn't normally see, but they grabbed this wonderful farmer who was passing off his farm to his daughter, and that whole storyline was just fantastic. But there were some other great funny ones from Duncan and some others that were really great as well.
So it seems like in this day and age, everything has been done. So from an agency perspective, how hard is it to come up with a really great ad for, say, one that you're spending so much money on for the Super Bowl?
Oh, I love that question. And it is pretty difficult. And what you really need to focus on is look at the product and look at the consumers that you're really targeting, and try and find a way that you can really bring out that emotion in the consumer and attach your product with it. Sometimes it's really easy to be funny about something, but then will they remember the product that you're educating the consumer on? And so you have to really dial into different kind of ways to do that, to stand out. And it's not difficult. There's a lot of concepting that goes into that, and obviously a lot of discussions and brainstorms to kind of come to the right angle.
We hear about the millions spent for the 30 seconds, but how much does it cost, and what goes into producing some of these ads?
The ads this year were breaking records. I think the average, I know the average was around $8 million. And some of the ads themselves cost over $10 million, and that's for a 30-second ad. So very expensive, very pricey, but obviously many of these advertisers feel like it's worth it, and so they're willing to go out of their way to spend the money and make that happen. And then they have to figure out that correct angle to really approach it in a way that's going to make them stand out.
You talked about our favorites, but what about those that just didn't hit the mark? Do you have a couple that just didn't do it for you?
Yeah, if you go back a few years ago, Coinbase and cryptocurrency really they moved a QR code around the screen, and people were like, what is going on? Well, they did something a little similar this time where they just showed words to a song and you were supposed to sing along and be happy with them. But I really think that one did not stand out very well, and I think they made mistakes. Poppy, the drink, the soda drink, they kind of push a healthy angle, and yet this year they went at it incredibly different in a way that I just don't think resonated with maybe their average consumer. And so I don't think that one's going to stand out very well. And some of the GLP-1 commercials that we saw this year, as we know that weight loss situation is really resonating with people. I don't think that they did a great job really selling the benefits and the opportunities that come from that. And so I think they're a little bit lower down there. And maybe you could also go with Meta. Meta had 2 different ads where they're using Oakley glasses so that you can talk to Meta and say, hey, Meta, help me with this and this. And I think they just went a little too far with those ads. There's a little too much going on, and maybe consumers will lose some of the impact that they could have had.
Okay, before I let you go, how did we get to this space where people care just as much about the commercials as they do the Super Bowl game? I mean, what is it? How did this happen?
Well, generally speaking, it's because we have so many viewers, right? We probably had over 100 million viewers again. And so this is the opportunity that if you really need to sell a product or educate in a space, this is a way to get in front of the most people in the most impactful way. And additionally, people are gathered, they're talking, they're chatting, and if you can get them in together in these groups and talk about the ad that they just saw, that also makes it more impactful, kind of like a word of mouth type of situation. And so these advertisers realize this is a once in a year type of opportunity, and they're going to take advantage of it if they can and if it makes sense for their brand.
Walt McRoberts is a partner and executive vice president at Make Advertising. It's 2:30 midday at KSL News Radio. I'm Maria Shilaos. Some of the stories we are watching this hour. A proposal to improve childhood literacy, and it could mean your third grader gets held back if they're struggling with reading. The 2026 Winter Games in Italy, well underway this hour. KSL 5 TV's Deanie Wimmer will join us for a live update and KSL traffic. Ricky?
Cleanup of a crash on northbound Bangerter in West Valley. Maria?
And the forecast says, we should see some more wet weather this week. It looks like Wednesday, the best chance with a 40% chance of showers. It's 2:30.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. In Arizona, authorities say they have no suspects and no person of interest in the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. Daughter, Savannah Guthrie, Today anchor posting a new video pleading for the public to help bring her home.
Law enforcement is working tirelessly around the clock trying to bring her home, trying to find her. She was taken and we don't know where. And we need your help.
Police say the 84-year-old was abducted from her home just over a week ago. A brief hearing today on Capitol Hill after convicted sex trafficker Ghislaine Maxwell pleaded the Fifth in her deposition with the House Oversight Committee in the Jeffrey Epstein investigation. Lawmakers, meantime, today getting their first look at some of the unredacted Epstein files in a secure location. In Maryland, police in Montgomery County say one person is in custody related to a shooting at a high school today. Police responding earlier and confirmed one person was shot. The motive unknown. This is ABC News.
KSL's top local story. Utah County leaders are asking state lawmakers to help them with the legal costs for the Tyler Robinson case. He's the man accused of shooting Charlie Kirk at Utah Valley University. And the county's asking price is in the millions. KSL News Radio's Adam Small has more.
Utah County is asking the legislature for $2 million of taxpayer money to help with the costs to both defend and prosecute Tyler Robinson.
This is not a standard case or even a standard capital case. The very public nature of this case requires unprecedented attention to detail.
Ezra Nair is the Utah County Government Administrator.
We're facing increased costs for significantly increased security measures for all parties, multiple Rule 8 certified attorneys who command higher rates, a jury selection process that could take months due to pretrial publicity.
Nair told state lawmakers today they're handling multiple capital cases right now, and Utah County taxpayers are currently on the hook for the millions of dollars those cases cost. Nair also noted Utah Valley University, while in Utah County, is state property. Multiple lawmakers expressed support for the proposal, but whether they'll actually dish out the money will be decided near the end of the legislative session next month. Adam Small, KSL News Radio.
Other local stories KSL is following. A Utah firefighter was arrested over the weekend accused of sexual exploitation of a minor. Kelly Carter reportedly told investigators he purchased and viewed child sex abuse materials while working as a firefighter in Salt Lake County. We've reached out to the Salt Lake City Fire Department for a comment. Taking a look at your money at this moment, the Dow ending the day up 20 points to sit at 50,135. S&P up by 32. The NASDAQ up nearly a full percent, up by 207 points. Traffic and weather, it's brought to you by UCCU. Earn 4.44% on savings at uccu.com. Ricky?
No problems on the Valley freeways, and the earlier crash northbound Bangerter Highway at 4100 South in the cleanup stages. Debris has been swept up. All lanes are now open. Step aboard history, walk through recreations, see real artifacts, and feel the legacy of Titanic, the exhibition. Open now at the shops at Southtown in Sandy. Tickets at thetitanicexhibition.com. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
20% chance of showers today and tomorrow, up to a 60% chance on Wednesday. 45 degrees at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios.
A reminder about the simplest way to get updated for your day.
Hit your KSL preset when you jump in the car, and we'll take care of the rest.
Hear key news updates and traffic reports.
Andy and Amanda from 5 to 9 in your car.
KSL News Radio at 102.7 FM.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. You know, the big wireless companies say they have discounts for people over 55. But unless you're willing to sit on hold and ask, you're probably paying more than you should. At Consumer Cellular, there's nothing to hunt down. We're built for people 50 plus with plans starting at just $20. And our 100% US-based customer service actually answers the phone. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today and get your second month free for a limited time.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Trying to make sense of the markets? Looking to diversify out of all the craziness? Thinking about tangible assets like precious metals? Listen to The Gold Show with Kenny Michaels right here on KSL at 3 p.m. Sunday afternoons. Stay up to date on retirement trends, how the IRA rollover process works, and why investors are turning to physical gold. Kenny is a national talk show host with decades of experience in the markets. Tune in for Kenny's Insights and The Gold Show this Sunday afternoon at 3.
You're listening to Midday. I'm Maria Shilaos.
Eye on the Hill 2026. Special coverage on KSL News Radio.
Should third graders who are not reading at grade level be held back until their reading skills improve? It's a question posed by many on Utah's Capitol Hill in the wake of a rather dismal report released in January, which said roughly half of Utah's kindergarten through third grade students are reading below minimum proficiency levels. State Senator Ann Milner is hoping to address this problem with Senate Bill 241, which aims to tackle many of the literacy challenges faced by Utah's youngest students. She joined me to explain how she hopes this bill will make things better.
So what we want to be able to do is to make sure that we're helping every child get to, when they get to third grade, they're reading at third grade level. But that needs to start at kindergarten and first grade and second grade and third grade. So we already use an Acadian screening tool in each of those grades. We do that 3 times a year. Our goal will be for students who are performing below benchmark for their grade level to have teachers work with parents to develop individual reading plans for those students so we can help those students get up to benchmark. So that can start, and it will start in kindergarten. It can continue in first grade, second grade, third grade. But our goal is to provide a wide range of potential interventions, support for paraprofessionals, training and coaching that we think will help support all of our teachers in our schools in helping every child get there. We know our teachers are working really hard. We know they care about their kids reading, but sometimes it takes having another professional in the room. It takes being able to do some specialized support for a child. Children don't read for different reasons. So being able to take a child that's below benchmark, work on developing appropriate interventions such as tutoring and other support services for those students. Our goal is to get every student reading by third grade at the end of third grade.
So, Senator, this isn't all on the teachers then, who already have a lot of responsibilities.
No, this is meant to help bring a support system around them, both in terms of additional support and help, additional training, coaches, as well as the community has been actively engaged in this. And we have many leaders in our community who are very interested in saying, how do we help? How could we help maybe support some paraprofessionals or some special activities or some parent education, those kinds of things that would make a difference for our schools. So this has the potential of being a total community effort that helps every child read at grade level.
Senator, we had a listener chime in on the KSL News Radio app with a question for you regarding the retention proposal. So let's listen to what Thomas asked.
For holding kids back in third grade, my only thought would be, what are you going to do to make sure when they get held back that they're going to improve? You can't hold somebody back without you putting forth the effort to make sure they succeed.
You're absolutely right. I could not agree more, and we've had that conversation that what we can't do if we hold a child back, we can't just do exactly the same things we've done with them in that third grade year experience. We're going to have to make sure that we're providing the right reading plans, interventions, and supports that gets them to grade level by the end of third grade. So, as I said, my goal is that no student gets there, but if they do, it will be a specialized experience that really is intended to help every child succeed.
Senator, what have you heard from citizens, from parents? Are they concerned about their child being held back?
Well, I think parents are starting, what this bill really is trying to do is to make sure we're having ongoing communication with parents. First of all, a third grade retention would not even be something we put in place until 2030. So a student who goes into kindergarten next year would have to get to third grade before the decision might be made to hold back a student that's performing well below grade level. Our goal is to have every student be at first grade, second grade, third grade, and fourth grade, or third grade, working with the parents and the students and interventions that are going to help every student get there.
That is State Senator Ann Milner there. In just 30 seconds, KSL 5 TV's Deanie Wimmer will join me for an update on the ongoing Winter Games. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, America's largest family law firm. During this time of year, difficult relationships sometimes become impossible. If you or someone you care about is facing a family law issue, let us set up a 1-hour Cordell Consult. The Cordell Consult is a meeting with a local attorney who will give you clear guidance about your options, whether it's a separation, a postnuptial agreement, divorce, or custody. Take the first step. Visit CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com.
Who doesn't love winning? Right now, at KSL.com/win, you'll find exciting contests with prizes you actually want. Tickets, gift cards, and more. It's fast, it's free, and you can enter in just a few clicks. New contests are added all the time, so there's always another chance to win big. Don't miss out. Visit KSL.com/win today and enter to win. That's KSL.com/win.
The 2026 Winter Games on Middays with Maria, live from Milan. Brought to you by America First Credit Union.
Excitement at the Winter Games in Italy as the U.S. secures 2 gold medals, but also a bit of tragedy as Lindsey Vonn suffered a devastating crash on the slopes yesterday. After tearing her ACL, she bounced back quick and continued with the games, but she clipped a flag on the course, resulting in a crash and a devastating leg break to end her chances at a medal this time around. Let's now go live to Milan with Deanie Wimmer of KSL 5 News as she's part of the KSL's team covering the Winter Games for us. Thanks so much for being with us, Deanie.
Hi, Maria. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. I understand that you have been speaking with figure skaters today. Tell us about that.
Yes, I just heard you talking about the devastating blow for Lindsey Vonn, but some of our Team USA figure skaters helped the U.S. get on the gold medal board today, and I got to talk to some of them. Amber Glenn talked about how our 2002 games were what actually inspired her to start skating and to get serious about that. She doesn't know that she'll make it back to 2034, but she credited that. And I talked to the others, Danny O'Shea, Ellie Kam, and Elisa Liu, about what it was like to be on top of the podium. They just told me as they held their gold hardware around their necks that it was so exciting and that they couldn't stop the tears from flowing. On the other hand, I also talked to some speed skaters, some of Utah's speed skaters. Brittany Bowe was knocked out of the race by hundredths of a second, and same with her colleague Erin Jackson. And it was a rough way to go down, but they both came out of there very positive about how they had raced. They'd done some of their fastest work up until this point, and they both said that it meant the world to have their families here, unlike in Beijing. So those were some of the high points from athletes that I spoke to today.
So, with the world's top athletes competing, 100th of a second is always what these kinds of things come down to, just that very short bit of time.
Isn't it crazy? You have to think they trained for 4 years, and it comes down to just like that. And Erin Jackson told us, I did my best, and that was my goal. And they mentally trained to know that they did what they could do. They controlled what they could, and at the end of the day, it may go their way and it may not, but they go away knowing they've represented Utah well.
Even those that go away a little bit discouraged, are they already talking about the fact that they want to compete here in Utah when the games come here?
Well, no one. Brittany Bowe had already declared that this is her last Olympics. Some of the others, they'll talk about it, but there's still so many things to compete in here that they're not thinking, or at least not talking about that yet. But, in many of these sports, you never say never.
Right. So even though they're a little bit discouraged, they're still planning to keep competing, at least in the short term.
For sure. And they know that, there's still a chance that our Utah speed skaters could earn medals. They've still got medal events coming up. And so this was their first chance out of the chute. And same with the figure skaters. You know, they have many more individual rounds because this was their team effort. And so they know full well this is just the beginning, and they're hoping to come out strong in some of their individual meets.
Well, Danny, it's super fun to watch them from here at home, so it must be even more fun for you to actually be able to talk to them and share their stories with us.
Oh, it's fun. You know, it's fun to be right up close to them, to know that they are the best in the world at what they do. And at the end of the day, they come out and they have some of the same emotions. You know, you can just relate to them, and you feel for them, both in the glory and in the discouragement of what just happened in those last few seconds.
Danny, thanks so much. I will talk with you again tomorrow.
All right. Sounds good, Maria.
That is Danny Wimmer with KSL 5 live from Milan. And again, she'll join us at the same time tomorrow. And make sure you tune in to KSL 5 TV tonight, beginning at 7 o'clock to catch alpine skiing, figure skating, and freestyle skiing, followed by KSL 5 News at 10 o'clock. The 2026 Winter Games on Midday with Maria Shilaos, brought to you by America First Credit Union. America First Credit Union has everything you need to get your money working, so head to americafirst.com and become a member today. The latest and greatest in mobility technology made its appearance at the Salt Lake kickoff party for the 2026 Winter Games. Among the exhibits at the event was the University of Utah Trails program with the Craig H. Nelson Rehab Hospital. Now, Trails focuses on providing technology for recreation and mobility for the disabled, and they told KSL News Radio's Eric Cabrera that they have some very exciting things in the works.
We are showcasing our Tetra ski, which gives people with complex disabilities a chance to ski, and in the future, we're hoping they can compete in the Olympics. So we're on target for sure, 2034 Salt Lake Olympics. And the Tetra ski allows somebody who is maybe a quadriplegic to actually ski. And it is motorized, and so I can turn it on here.
That'd be great.
So there's joystick operated, and you move the joystick left, right, and that will turn the skis. And then you can also wedge them, and you can make them straight. The other thing, so there's an instructor usually on the back, so tethered in, they have a harness, and they're tethered in just for safety reasons. And they also have a remote control. So if the athlete kind of goes off course, or maybe is starting to get into trouble, we can override them so they don't go off the cliff, essentially.
All right.
Keep them on track.
Yeah.
And we also have very complex athletes who require sip and puff. So they're on a ventilator 24/7. And so if you would sip, you would turn the skis. If you would puff, you can turn them the other way. So we're really trying to push the limits of what adaptive sports is.
Programs Director for Trails, Kim Hart, says it's taken years to develop this technology.
So this has been a long time project. So early 2000s, engineering students came up with the first prototype, and then it was refined over many years. Now we've got 29 of these skis throughout the world. So the most recent one was delivered a couple weeks ago to Japan. And when we deliver a ski, the ski goes there, but also instructors. So we have a couple people on site, and then they go through whoever is going to be using the ski as the instructor. They go through the different ways to set it up, to control it, to service it. And the idea is if we can have a ski at lots of different places, multiple people can use them.
Got it.
Instead of one person having it for themselves and skiing once in a while, we can get as many people as possible in the ski.
Hart says the tech should be ready for the 2034 Utah Olympics. It's the season for love and the season for scams. Ahead of Valentine's Day this weekend, we're taking a look at the common scams that you or your loved ones may encounter and what you can do to make sure the day of love doesn't become a day of hate. But first, it's traffic on KSL News Radio. It's brought to you by UCCU. Direct deposit gets you $300. Love where you bank. Ricky?
We are still looking at a nice and quiet drive on all the Valley freeways, but we are also still looking at a crash being cleared This is in West Valley, northbound Bangerter Highway at 4100 south over to the right. Are you tired of dealing with missing teeth? Are you ready to ditch the dentures? The experts at Stubbs Dental can change your life with dental implants. Get started at stubbsdental.com today. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
Did you know GoodRx can help you save on medication, manage prescriptions, and get trusted health information? If you're one of the millions living with a heart condition, check GoodRx for an easier, more affordable way to manage your health. GoodRx offers common heart medications for under $30. Just search for your prescription, find the best price, then show your pharmacist the GoodRx coupon. And it works whether you have insurance or not. To start saving and better manage your heart health, download the free app or visit GoodRx.com today. GoodRx is not insurance but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Valentine's Day is a moment to pause and celebrate the love that fills your life. Duke's Jewelers in Springville believes every love story deserves something timeless, something chosen with intention and given from the heart. This Valentine's season, explore pieces that speak without a single word. Dazzling diamonds that catch the light, rich gold that feels classic and enduring, and colorful gemstones that tell a story all their own. Whether you're marking a first Valentine's together, honoring decades of devotion, or simply wanting to make someone feel cherished, Duke's Jewelers is here to help you find the perfect piece. Duke's Jewelers will guide you with care, offer thoughtful suggestions, and even wrap your gift beautifully so you can enjoy the moment, not stress over it. Visit Duke's Jewelers on Springville Main Street and discover a gift that will be treasured long after February 14th is passed. Because love is worth celebrating in the most meaningful way. Duke's Jewelers. Love elevated.
If you've ever set New Year's resolutions before, you know how difficult it is to follow through because you have to wait to see the results. What's up, everybody? I'm Mike Wilson with Any Hour Services, and in honor of your New Year, New You resolutions, Any Hour Services is having our New Year, New System sale. From now until the end of February, Any Hour Services will give you $2,026 off a new furnace and air conditioner. And you don't have to wait to save the money. You get $2,026 off at the time of purchase. The only thing you have to do to qualify for our New Year, New System sale is call Any Hour Services and schedule a free estimate. When you call, there's no obligation to buy. Just schedule a time to meet that works best for you. Let me say that again. From now until the end of February, when you have Any Hour Services install a new furnace and air conditioner, we'll give you $2,026 off. Call Any Hour Services right now and schedule a free estimate. 801-443-7400. You can Google Any Hour Services. You can even schedule online at anyhourservices.com. No one helps more homeowners than Any Hour Services.
This is Midday. I'm Maria Shilaos. Valentine's Day just a few days away, so if you haven't bought your significant other something special yet, you better hurry up. But for many people, the Day of Love also means a slew of scams. In fact, scammers are getting ready for one of their busiest times of the year. The Better Business Bureau is warning consumers about fake online flower and chocolate shops. I don't know why this is happening. I think it's the time of year. Anyway, they are warning. See, it feels like spring. That's what happens. The Better Business Bureau is warning consumers about fake online flower and chocolate shops that may take your money, but U.S. Attorney Melissa Holyoke says you have to make sure your Valentine is real, too.
What we're seeing that these targets are going towards often older Utahns, older adults, and oftentimes those that are just recently divorced or become single. And we're seeing that these frauds across the nation are just increasing dramatically. In upwards of $10 billion annually right now. And we think that's quite underreported also. And this is how the scam works. Fraudsters will approach individuals on different apps, including social media or dating apps, or even messaging apps like WhatsApp or some Facebook Messenger. And that's where the catfish begins. And they try to start up a conversation and try and create a relationship with those individuals. The fraudsters will engage in a very lengthy conversation, sometimes over many months, and to try and build trust with their victims. They will often be very overt about love bombing their victims and trying to really create that relationship. They often promise that they'll meet soon, but that never happens. And they often promise that they'll meet soon, but they can't because they're outside of the United States, maybe serving in the military or on some construction project outside of the United States. And then the ask comes. They ask for sometimes something small at first. An emergency has come up, maybe a medical bill. But then they keep asking. They'll ask for sometimes even money to help with future plans, so like a future marriage. And they keep asking and will receive large sums, and then they disappear.
So what should you know to protect yourself and maybe your elder family members too?
We want people to recognize the pattern, right? As we have talked about, this catfishing on the apps, building it over time, this idea of some emergency, of some way why they can't meet up, to recognize that pattern. And then we also want to educate people on not sharing information on these sites. Don't share information unless you've met personal information, unless you've met those people in person. So those two things can help quite a bit. Also, educating folks about trying to limit their social media to just people they know, not keeping the access open to multiple different people. That can go a long way. But if this does happen, what we want people to know is that they should report it immediately. We want people to not feel ashamed, to be able to come to the authorities. And that's why it's also important for people to understand when they're talking to friends, when they're talking to older parents, to really have compassion, to understand that these fraudsters, they are preying on people and on their basic needs as humans, on that need to have that connection. And they're doing it and exploiting it in the most sinister of ways.
If you find yourself the victim of a scam, what happens to your money, the stuff that you sent to the scammers?
We can sometimes recover the funds. Like I mentioned earlier on the money mules, those are a lot of the folks that we go after. Those are the individuals that are in the United States that are accepting the money and transferring it. There are other individuals that are in the United States who are also the perpetrators of the fraud and who are making the solicitations. And just to give you an example, in 2024, we did prosecute a defendant who was sentenced to 6 years for a very similar type of fraud. And in that fraud, it was a 2-year scheme that cost victims over $6 million.
U.S. Attorney Melissa Holyoke there speaking to KSL News Radio's Cameron Elliott about the need to stay vigilant of scammers this Valentine's Day. Jeff Kaplan has joined me. We haven't had a chance to talk about the Super Bowl since you just came in. So I want to know, favorite ad?
The baby eagle. Who was
the
it
Budweiser
for?
Commercial.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is what a lot of our listeners said earlier too.
Because I know that eagle, the one that flies off.
Oh yeah.
He's the one at the Eagles games that goes around the crowd during the Star Spangled Banner. On the last note, he lands on his trainer's finger. It's awesome.
Love it. Jeff is here. Jeff Kaplan's Afternoon News is next. Have a great afternoon.
KSL FM Midvale.
KSL Salt Lake City.
From the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios, this is KSL News Radio.
Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
Yeah, Lincoln the Eagle is going Hollywood. It's 3 o'clock at KSL News Radio.